All right, good afternoon. Brandon Robinson here with a tornado warning, cutting into the regular coverage with severe weather coverage. We're going to continue to see again the forecast very evolving quickly. This tornado warning goes until I believe about 4:15 or a little bit later there. Cameron, give me actually we're past 4:15, about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock. So 5 o'clock here for parts of Pulaski County. That includes the city of Somerset. So if you're in this polygon, be in your safe spot right now. They just issued this just a few minutes ago. There it is for us. That includes Nancy. That includes Somerset. That includes Shopville. Again, goes all the way out toward Mount Victory there, just north of Burnside. So anybody along the 27 corridor right there. Again, tornado precautions. We are watching this. It's a very strong system. We've been watching this all afternoon. Not a whole lot of rotation showing up, but if there's anything going on, it is probably right here. Exactly, right here, where he's circling right there. Thanks, Cameron, for that. Right there along, that is just north of, what is that road, Cameron?
Highway 761.
Highway 761. So if you're seeing them, this is southwest of Nancy at this point, but this would move directly toward Somerset if it stays on its current track. So if you're in the city of Somerset, you've got just a few minutes to get to that safe spot. This is kind of broad. It's tightening up a little bit. Weather Service Office at Jackson saw that and they decided to pull the trigger on this one. We've been watching a line of showers and storms trying to fire up all day long. Let me step this way so we can see if we have any debris being lofted.
Kind of looks like it. At me yet.
Yeah, it's
noisy.
It's noisy. Yeah, you're right on that one. So again, we're continuing to watch this there. 761. I can actually see better from this angle there. We're looking again at just southwest of Nancy. Anywhere where you see those darker colors, that's a lot of rain, potentially for some hail. So again, if you're in those areas, just be inside regardless, and then take your tornado safety precautions because it's a potent system that is working its way towards Somerset. Cameron, what's the speed on that?
Brent, this is moving 25 miles per hour to the east. I also want to mention this also has hail up to 2 inches in diameter. So
I see, just looking at that color, I figured that would be the case.
That's larger than quarter-sized hail. So that's some pretty large hail moving into downtown Somerset. I'll go ahead and put on a track for this, and this is moving east around 25 miles per hour. So just let's give a little bit of a track here. These times might not be, no, it's not right just yet. Let me adjust that here in the back and redo that. That was a little bit quicker than what I wanted it to be. So here we go, one more time. So moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. So if you were in Somerset, that puts it near you about 4:54, so about 14 minutes. But do not wait. Go ahead and go to your safe place now in Somerset. That's the lowest floor of your home, near the center, away from windows, a small room like a hallway, a closet, a bathroom. All those are great places to be in, as we don't have any confirmation of a tornado on the ground, but it doesn't take long for that to happen.
Exactly. This is what we talked about earlier and we were, I'll be real honest with you, the weather team was very surprised that the SPC went from basically nothing to enhanced there at 2 o'clock this morning, but we can see why now because we've been watching the system move throughout today, and we're seeing now this tornado warning coming up into play as we head into the forecast. So again, if you are in Somerset, you need to get into your safe spot right now. It's going to be right on your doorstep there around 4:54. Cameron, if you want to mute your mic there for just a second, we can hear you out in the hallway if you don't care. But again, we're going to continue to kind of we're going to see that heading toward the city of Somerset. So if you're in Somerset, this is a very dangerous situation. As Cameron said just a minute ago, we have decent sized hail. This tornado warning goes for a little bit longer, but we want you to take your safe precautions right now. You see some of the communities impacted. Oak Hill at 4:48. Somerset at 4:54. You've got about 14 minutes or less to get into your safe spots there in Somerset. Anybody in Pulaski County, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Downstairs, under something sturdy, lowest level of your home. Basements are best. If you don't have a basement, find another shelter in the middle of your house. If you live in a mobile home, get out. It's not a great place to be, especially in a warning like this. We've had the possibility for strong winds. We've had the possibility for a lot of action going on there today. So again, this is a very dangerous situation. That tornado warning, again, looking here at the chat. I'm going to scoot over here for just a second, the way I can tell you exactly. Let's see here. That goes until 5 o'clock. So tornado warning until 5 o'clock. Let me take this back off here for just a second. I'm going to clear this off so we can kind of see some of the other things. Cameron had to step out of the room for just a second, so I'm running radar. Give me just a second, and we will kind of zoom in a little bit, take a look at some other different things. So we're going to zoom back in here, kind of give you a better view as we head deeper into the forecast. But again, let's go to velocity real quick right here and switch back over and see what we see. Now, again, it's a little bit broader. It's basically right here where these reds and greens are coming together. So just to the south of Nancy, right there is the area we're watching. This is going to move in the general direction of Somerset. So if you were in Somerset, if you're along Highway 80, if you're along Highway 27, US 27 there, heading out of town, this is coming right at you. So you definitely need to be in your safe spot as quick as possible. Okay, so very, very important. Need to get to that safe spot. So let me clear this back out, back this back off. Again, this goes until 5 o'clock. Tornado warning for Pulaski County includes the cities of Nancy, Somerset, and then back over towards Shopville. Let me go back to radar here. Get our view back up here. Okay, so again, a lot of folks in the path of this big system, lots of hail potential there for 2-inch hail. I think that's what Cameron said. All right, got a new alert coming in. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see. I think it's just a continuation of the current tornado warning.
Okay, we're good.
But Somerset, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Right now, okay? So don't wait.
They've actually upgraded that hail to 2.5 inches.
Okay, so that was the new update.
This is very large hail.
Yeah.
Look at
wow. So yeah, you need to, especially if you are south of Nancy, we're showing 2.7-inch hail right there. So if you're southwest of Nancy, if you're along the...
And this is moving towards Somerset. So heads up, downtown Somerset, large hail. If there's no tornado, there's damaging hail.
Right.
Moving into downtown.
Can you pull the Somerset cam up when you get a second?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, we'll give them just a second. We got a camera thanks to our friends at Speda, downtown Somerset. We'll try to get that pulled up for you here, but this is massive hail, more than 2.5 inches. This is large, folks. This is basically a dangerous situation.
I may have to refresh it, but let me see if it works without that.
That's fine. Let's see what we got here.
If it works.
If we have to refresh it, we'll refresh it. If it doesn't, we'll come back to it. We'll come back to it here in a second. Take me back to radar, and we'll get that fixed up for you there. But we've got that camera downtown Somerset, and we'll continue to track that. There's our outlook right now. You still have, again, the 3 out of 5 there to the west, and then the 2 out of 5 basically for the rest of us. Back in on the tornado warning, you'll see there, again, anywhere in this purple, that is dangerous size hail. So even if there's not a tornado on the ground, we've seen no indication of that at this point. The hail is going to be enough to damage cars. It's going to be enough to damage roofs. So try to get your cars inside if you can, especially if you're in Somerset. Try to get them under something. You've got a little bit of time, but you don't have a whole lot. This system moving about 30 miles per hour right into downtown Somerset. So you need to be taking those safe precautions.
Yeah, if you guys know anybody in Somerset, give them a heads up. This is some very large hail that's moving their way.
So we're continuing to track this. Evan Hatter joining us right now. He's going to be in here just a second, getting on the board there. Let me back off here just a sec. There you go. Okay, so there you go. So basically, if you know anybody living along US 27 in Somerset, if you know anybody living back toward the Howell Rogers Parkway, he's going to put a track on to step out here so you can see those communities. Somerset, you've got about 10 minutes. Evan, if you'll mute your mic real fast so you set up there, we can hear you. There you go. All right, so if we can see that there, Somerset 456, 506 for the Sugar Hill community, Grundy at 510. So again, you've got a little bit of time, but not a whole lot. Shopville 517. These are some of the more populated communities there, and you can see the times. But Somerset is the biggest one of the biggest cities in our region. So 456, even if there is not a tornado, you're going to have massive hail heading towards you that can cause just as much damage than a tornado, okay? So be in a safe spot right now. Be inside, even if it's just hail, but you are in a tornado warning until 5 o'clock. So again, take those safety precautions, make sure they're taken care of. Cameron.
Just a heads up, 2.5-inch hail, that's the size of tennis balls.
Okay.
So we're talking about very large hail coming into downtown Somerset right now and over the next few minutes. So I'm trying to work on that, getting that camera up, Brandon. Give me a few more minutes,
okay,
and I'll get that camera up.
If you want to switch to the other source and try to work on it there,
yeah,
and we'll just, and if you could take over running radar for just a minute, and we'll kind of tag team this thing, and we'll continue to track it for you. But again, cannot warn you fast enough.
Can we track it on 1, because we had this up on 2?
Okay,
can we be easier?
Can we switch over to 1 or 2 rather, Josh?
Oh, yeah, that's what I meant too. Sorry about that.
Yeah, can we switch over to 2 there for a second? We also have a severe thunderstorm watch that just went out. We haven't been able to get it on social media yet. That goes until 11 o'clock for the entire region. I want to touch on that real fast while we're getting switched over there. And we'll continue to kind of track this here as we head deeper into it. So again, tornado warning until 5 o'clock while we're getting switched over here. Here we go. There we go. So until 5 o'clock for Pulaski County, we're going to zoom back in on that sail here. So if you are in Somerset proper, get into your safe spot right now. Do not delay. Do not wait. This storm is approaching you rapidly. It's going to be on your doorstep here in just a few minutes. And even if there is not a confirmed tornado with this, we're going to be seeing conditions that are going to bring hail the size of tennis balls They're coming through western Pulaski County now. They're moving directly towards Somerset. So I'm going to step over this way and we'll continue to kind of track that for you. But again, it's a situation that is very dangerous at this point, even if there's not a confirmed tornado. Evan, have you got control of radar?
I do.
Can you switch us over to velocity so we can check that out real fast?
I can do that.
Okay. So he's going to switch us over to velocity so we can see where the wind and the air is spinning there across parts of that region. But again, a very dangerous situation. Maybe right here. Take me a little closer right there, Evan, and we'll see. Because it's hard to kind of see on this angle there, but that's closer. At least the rotating air is getting closer to Somerset there, and you'll see kind of right here is kind of the area of concern. So it's approaching those highways there just outside of Somerset 27, if you know anybody living on 27. If you know anybody living on, is that 924, that road?
Let me make sure. 914.
914 out that way. I believe that's the part of...
Okay, we got Somerset up.
Okay, you got Somerset up. Let's take Somerset real fast on the other computer, Josh.
That'll be max 1.
Max 1.
It's raining. I don't know if that's hail, but it's definitely raining hard in downtown Somerset right now.
We're going to switch back here for just a second to max 1, the other max box there, Josh, if we can. All right, so we'll come back to this, but of course, tennis ball size hail potentially coming right at Somerset, one of the most populated communities in our region. There it is. All right, so here's downtown Somerset. You see the rain falling, but I don't know if we're seeing too much in the way of hail.
Brandon, is your mic up?
I'm not sure. Hold on.
We might have.
It might have switched. It might have turned off when you switched over back to the other computer.
Well, while you're doing that,
I think Cameron's one on right now.
Is mine?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we did.
Through that, Cameron.
All right, so yeah, we got that. No, first of all, nobody should be driving, and too much traffic going on in downtown Somerset. So if you know anybody in Somerset, there is a tornado warning in effect, and they need to be off the road at the nearest store, the nearest gas station, restaurant, anything like that. That offers more shelter than a car. So you don't want to be in a car, you don't want to be in a mobile home. This is a live look from downtown Somerset. Not only are we tracking a possible tornado, but we're also tracking possibly some large hail, up to tennis ball sized hail in downtown Somerset. Let's pull back to that radar real quick. And you can see.
Actually, if you want to keep that camera up, well, we'll go back to that.
So there's that hail core, though. I mean, it's coming right into downtown.
So here you go, folks. This is, again, we've not seen any confirmed tornado action, but look at this.
Wow.
Look at this hail. I mean, this is huge, huge hail, possibly tennis ball size or bigger, and it's heading right for Somerset. So you need to be
Looks
inside.
like that's Highway 80 right now. So it's on top of Highway 80.
So it's basically going past Somerset there on Highway 80. So again, 2.2 is what you just clicked on there.
Yeah.
We've had reports of tennis ball size
area.
Yeah. So again, this is a very dangerous situation there. So if you know anybody west of Somerset, even if it's not Somerset proper, get them into a shelter. Tornado warning until 5. Hail the size of tennis balls. Back to velocity there just a little bit. Evan, correct me if I'm wrong, but it looks like that's getting a bit more broad on the rotation.
it does look like it. Yes, Brandon, I'm sorry. I've got a couple sources up here. Let me switch back to, I'm on my laptop, so I've got access to both weather computers. Let me switch to the other one.
There you go.
Plus, I had radar scope on mine. Yes, the rotation in that storm is looking more broad, and that sounds like we've got an update somewhere on the...
What you got, Cameron?
This is from MRX.
Oh, okay. So anything new, like warning-wise?
No.
Okay.
No, but we do have a train spotter report in Somerset of 7/10 of an inch size hail.
Oh, wow.
It's just less. It's not severe, but that is still
getting close.
Large hail.
Exactly.
There's
They're
another.
going to continue the tornado warning until 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So it's still in effect.
This warning, it's tightened back up just a little bit. This storm is trying to cycle just a little bit. So again, the tornado is a concern. Obviously, that looks like they've trimmed back the warning just a little bit there. It looks like on the update. So again, if you're in Nancy and west of Nancy there out toward 761, you should be clear from the tornado threat. Not necessarily the hail threat, but the tornado threat. Somerset, this is bearing down on you. So we've got 914 here. We've got 27. We've got 192 back over here, back over toward Laurel County. So if you're in Somerset proper, get in your safe spot. Downstairs, under something sturdy. You don't want to be outside because you've got not only the tornado threat, you've got the hail threat as well. And we're seeing the possibility for these hail systems, those hail cores, to be up to about 2.5 inches or bigger, which is tennis ball size hail. Live look there at Somerset downtown. We hope we can keep this camera as long as we can. Look at the wind that's blowing the fountain. It's kind of pushing it over this. Look at the trees as well. So this is a strong gust coming into downtown Somerset right now. This is ahead of the warm part of the storm. So if you're already seeing this, get off of the roads.
Wow.
If you're downtown, get off of the roads, get to shelter right now. This is a dangerous situation. Please get to shelter as soon as you can. We don't want to see anybody driving out there, but look at the water off of the fountain. Look at the trees. So again, we're just going to keep watching this. If you got anybody that you know that's driving down there, call them. Say, get to shelter right now. Tornado warning.
Some ponding on the road too, so that's another danger that we run into.
Exactly. So tornado warning continues till 5. Somerset, you're right in the path of this. The rotation tightening back up a little bit. You've got tennis ball size hail coming at you. Okay, so again, this is a situation that is very, very dangerous. So again,
you want to hold it here? You want to go back to radar?
Let's go back to radar for just a second, because I want to see kind of this approach on Somerset there proper. We'll take you back to that camera once it gets a little bit closer. And you see crossing 914, the hail core is at least. So Somerset, you've got just a second. Put a track on that camera. I'm going to step out there real quick just to kind of give us.
Looks like they've bumped the time back up to 30, so let me update that one more time.
Okay, so we're going to put another track on it. Somerset, you've got minutes. If the last track holds true, you've got minutes to get into your shelter.
I'm going to do the hail core on that. Off to the east around 30, so yeah, about 5 minutes, if that.
So Somerset, get off of the roads, get into a sturdy building. We're not even talking about tornado right now. We're talking about tennis ball size hail, which is just as dangerous in this situation. Can damage cars, can break windshields. I mean, it can damage roofs on your houses. So again, you've got to be very careful with this one. So Somerset, about 4:57, which is about 4 minutes, a little more than 4 minutes from here. Shopville, another populated community on the eastern edge there of Pulaski County. You've got until about 5:14. This tornado warning goes until 5, so we're going to continue to watch this and keep a very close eye on it. Evan, anything you want to throw in real quick?
It doesn't look like the velocity heading toward downtown Somerset would indicate to me that there's anything getting ready to touch down.
Right.
But I am watching that area just south of Oil Center, which is just east of Nancy, right
here.
There. You're pointing it out there, Brandon. I'm keeping a close eye on that because sometimes you can get these quick spin-ups, but I think this is more of a situation.
Oh, wow. Click on the red there. Let me see how big that hail is.
Let's see.
That's, okay, 2.8, so that is bigger than...
They're going to be extending the tornado warning further east in a few moments, so just a heads up there.
Okay, so Laurel County heads up.
Almost 3 inches according to the radar.
Okay,
and we just got a report from a trained spotter of hail to at least an inch in Somerset.
So Somerset proper is now reporting an inch size hail. That makes it severe hail in Somerset.
Yep.
Okay, new warnings.
There it is for Pulaski. For, I guess, eastern Pulaski.
Okay, so they just expanded it a little bit east. Did they take it into Laurel County at all?
No.
Okay, so it's going right up to the Laurel County line here, but it's not. This does not include Laurel County just yet. So how long does that go to now?
5:30.
Okay, tornado warning until 5:30. This includes the city of Somerset. That includes parts of Shopville. It actually is. Does it take in Burnside now? The new tornado warning?
It's on the edge. It's on the southern edge.
So close to Burns. Okay, I see the polygon now. Yeah. So again, if you live between Somerset and London on the Hal Rogers Parkway, shelter now. Huge hail coming at you.
Yeah, along Highway 27. So really nobody should be driving on Highway 27 from Science Hill to Burnside, in between those two areas.
Right.
In downtown Somerset, you should be sheltered from a tornado, also from large hail.
Right.
Let's go back to that camera
So go back
for
to the
second,
camera there
Brandon,
for a second.
and see if we can see anything coming into downtown. That'll take a few moments to load up here.
Nice.
So
okay, so it
looks like the wind has calmed a little bit, but
that doesn't mean anything because again, sometimes the winds will calm down before the hail core moves in. Let's see. I'm trying to watch the fountain here to see if we see any water bouncing in the fountain there. It's hard to tell, but the wind has calmed down. Again, do not let your guard down, Somerset. You're still right in the thick of it till 5:30 this afternoon. So we're going to continue to watch that. One of the region's most populated cities. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this for you here. Wind picking back up there just a little bit. Looks like either some small hail or maybe some increasing hail there. I know the hail core is moving towards Somerset. So you've got a double threat here, Somerset. You have massive hail, tennis ball size or bigger hail, and then you have the tornado warning. So you definitely need to be inside shelter. I'm glad to see the cars have taken a little bit of a break there downtown Somerset, so we're not seeing those. That's great. Get inside, stay inside till this warning clears, okay? Make sure that you're doing that. And back to radar, we see again, we're looking at the hail core. I think it's gotten
not as defined.
It's right. It was. I'm sure it was huge back out there in western Pulaski County.
Yeah, they're good. They've got rid of the first one, but they're going to continue the second
So they're
one.
going to continue the second one until 5:30. Okay, so still a tornado warning in effect. This more Somerset's coming up on you right now, but this includes parts of eastern Pulaski County. Looks like
the rotation will be right on top of Somerset.
Yeah, just to the south. But regardless of where the rotation is, get into a shelter, underground, under something, or along something, in a building that's sturdy. Got a shelter in there. Sorry, words getting jumbled up here. Got a lot of thoughts going on. Downstairs is best. Okay, under something sturdy, in a sheltered place that's away from windows. Basement is absolutely the best place, okay? So again, if you're near Somerset, in Somerset, dual threats here along US 27. So if you know anybody traveling along US 27, get them inside right now.
See what that hail looks like now. It's still there.
It's still there, but it's a little bit closer to Oak Hill.
That purple would be about 2 inches.
So about 2 inch hail. So a little bit less than tennis ball size, but still pretty big. So again, continue to monitor that. Evan.
Oh, I was going to say 2 inches is about hen egg size.
Hen egg size for 2 inches. So there
definitely
you go.
going to do some damage, but it's not as damaging as tennis ball size. But that's still, you don't see hen egg size hail every day. Actually, we saw it a few weeks ago here in not far from downtown Hazard.
Right.
And we had that supercell move through a few
I
weeks
remember
ago.
that.
But the look at the Somerset camera now looks like just heavy rain at this point.
Yeah, but again, do not let your guard down. They've extended this tornado warning for Somerset and areas east until 5:30. We're going to keep watching this very carefully. So Laurel County, if they decide to extend it further, you're next. So again, that's London, that's East Bernstein, that's areas.
Looks like we may have lost that camera.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see. The feed must have went down. So they may have lost power in downtown Somerset. Okay. But we were able to see some pretty good coverage on that, especially with the wind as it was approaching. We'll try to go back to that a little bit later. So, again, maybe some power outages down that way. It wouldn't surprise me in the least. So, again, make sure you're staying off the roads. Now, heavy rain. Some hail, still a possibility, still some kind of broad rotation there just south of Somerset and going into Somerset proper. So if you live on 27, basically just north of Somerset, all the way down to Burnside, basically, again, shelter in place. Don't be outside. Somerset, it's on top of you right now. So it's moving through the city as we speak. They may have lost power out there. So again, send those reports in as easy or as much as you can there over to the Ruth community, 507, just a few minutes, Piney Grove at 511, back over toward Squibb around 5:30. So that's the end of the tornado warning, at least for Pulaski County. We'll see if it gets extended further into Laurel County at a little bit. So I tell you what, Cameron, let's do a little loop over the last couple hours just to show these storms kind of how they've been rolling through, okay? We'll zoom back out just a little bit and we'll show you kind of the progression of these. These blew up this afternoon into what we're looking at right now. So we'll continue to watch, again, some severe thunderstorm warnings down to the south. Now, I haven't forgot about Wayne and Mercure counties. They're still under a severe thunderstorm warning, but no tornado possible tag. I do believe there's also another severe thunderstorm warning in Pulaski County, correct?
Yes, that is, sorry to cut you off there, Cameron. That was just issued a minute ago because that original severe thunderstorm warning was expiring.
Oh, the tornado warning expired and then they put the severe thunderstorm warning in its place.
Yes, so we got kind of both there. So we're kind of overlapping because this storm is moving so slow. The Weather Service is overlapping the warnings because we've got the one warning that's going to expire at 5 o'clock and another severe thunderstorm warning that's going to expire at 5 o'clock. They've reissued a severe thunderstorm warning for Somerset on eastward for the possibility. This one was warned for ping pong ball size hail.
Okay,
so,
but hail and wind and tornado possible all in basically the threat level for today, for Pulaski County at least.
Right, and I would say at this point, I don't see anything. We still have the rotation in the storm to be sure, but I would say the hail at this moment is probably the bigger threat at this time as that continues. It's right on top of downtown, and that's going to be moving between 192 and Highway 80, basically very close to, well, I had it there, just one second. Basically between Highway 80 and just to the south of Highway 80 as that continues to the north and east.
Yeah, exactly. Right around US 27, just south of the main part of town there, down into, what is that community?
This is pretty close to the Lake Cumberland Regional Airport over in Somerset. So that hail core is.
So basically your hail core is just
severe thunderstorm warning for Jackson, Laurel, Rockcastle.
Okay.
Until
tornado
5:30.
possible or no?
No.
Okay, so just a regular severe thunderstorm warning. So again, strong winds coming towards you. This hail core, basically if you're just south of Somerset Somerset on 27 all the way down to Bourbon there. That's the area we're seeing the biggest hail at this point. Ferguson, you're now getting ready to see this hail core over there in Pulaski County. But again, anywhere in eastern Pulaski County, it's going to scoop past Somerset here in just a second. Let's reset for just a minute. It's 5 o'clock, just after 5 o'clock. I'm WYMT Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson, along with meteorologist Evan Hatter and Cameron Aaron, tracking severe weather on the air here for you this afternoon in southern Kentucky. So again, we've got tornado warnings out till 5:30 for Pulaski County. New severe thunderstorm warning for parts of which counties again there, Cameron?
Jackson, Laurel, Rockcastle.
Until 5:30.
Yes.
So again, we've got multiple severe thunderstorm warnings going on, but we're watching this cell that has had a well, it's not been proven, but we've gotten reports of some decent sized hail just west of Somerset coming into Somerset proper. And again, we had at one point tennis ball sized hail falling in the western parts of the county down to about, what is 1 inch?
About
Evan?
a quarter. Yeah.
Okay, so basically right there, not too bad. It's getting better. I'm not going to say it's not too bad, but that can still cause damage when it's kind of that large. So again, just kind of be aware of that. Rotation, not looking as well defined. If we want to switch back over to that, actually, matter of fact, it's kind of drifting apart, but it's still right there on top of Somerset.
It's pretty broad.
Yeah, so
that's the good
it's
news.
broadening out, so that's good news. But again, you're still under this tornado warning until 5:30. National Weather Service Jackson pushed it out for a little while longer. Hopefully, we lost our Somerset camera downtown. There may be a power outage out there too.
We got it back.
Oh, did you get it back?
I'm just checking and see.
Okay, we're going to see if we got that back or not.
While he's doing that, I want to point out the severe
Yep.
yeah, it's back. The severe thunderstorm warning that was put in place for parts of Rockcastle, Jackson, and Laurel County. This is the northern part of Laurel County and the southwestern part of Jackson County. It's for a storm that's on top of Mount Vernon right now that's got the potential for 60-mile-per-hour winds and hail to the size of quarters. So that's a different storm pushing across Interstate 75 right now. So that's going to continue to push across Interstate 75. It's near Mount Vernon right now. In its sights is McKee. So folks in Laurel County, you may be, seeing the alert on your phone, severe thunderstorm warning for my location. This is well north of London. This is well north of East Bernstadt, and we will continue to see that push to the east at, let me check the speed on that one. That is going to be... this one actually is for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and I was wrong. Hail to the size of nickels, not quarters, 0.88 inches.
Okay.
And that one is moving east at 40. So I think this is something, Cameron's highlighting it now, I think this is something we're going to see as we head through the evening. These storm clusters are just kind of cluster up, and in that scenario, you can get a brief spin-up tornado. But the biggest threat, and one we've been highlighting all morning, is the potential for damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, and that's what you get when you get these big storm clusters.
So there's the Mount Vernon camera. We just got that pulled up. Thank you, Cameron, for thinking ahead of us there. We're looking at some heavy rain, some pretty strong winds out there. We're continuing to watch that as well, and we'll continue to see some possibilities for some hail. So that's one of the shots that we have kind of looking again to the I think that's the southbound camera. Or is that the northbound camera at 75?
I'm actually not sure which one's which.
I think that's the northbound camera, because the southbound camera, it might be the southbound camera. Anyway, regardless, it's on I-75 right there near Mount Vernon. But
They
again,
continue that tornado warning until 5:30, but really rotation is very, very broad.
I think they're just playing it safe at this point, which is a smart thing. So stay in your tornado shelters until we give you the all clear. Eastern Pulaski County, again, if you're in basically along the Howard Rogers Parkway heading toward London. I think that's the best way to do it, or just south of that. We'll say to be in your safe spot until we give you the all clear. Downstairs, basement is best, under something sturdy. Make sure you're putting as much between you and the outside as possible. Make sure that you're taking all those precautions. Now, if you live in a mobile home and you've got this coming at you, find somewhere else to be. Mobile homes are not safe when it comes to tornado warnings and severe warnings out there. So again, find somewhere else. The good news is, and don't take what I'm getting ready to say to heart or to as gospel, the rotation starting to broaden out just a little bit. So again, we're not ready to give the all clear to Somerset just yet. They had some pretty good hail coming through there earlier, torrential rain still coming down, probably some stronger winds, but it's getting closer. The hail core has definitely shrunk quite a bit there, just south of Somerset. So again, still under the threat for severe weather, and we're just getting started.
Back this up a little bit. You can see where that really large hail
so just south of Nancy.
Just south of Nancy.
Yeah, so basically east of Norfleet, south of Nancy, all the way up. It literally almost come up to Somerset's doorstop and then kind of fell apart there. Again, Evan, what'd you say, 1 inch hail reported in Somerset?
There was a 1 inch report in Somerset, yes, and off of radar estimates near 3. That's
that dark maroon color is 3 inches.
So what's the equivalent on that one? Because it's got to be bigger than tennis ball.
Yeah.
Evan's our
I want to say
resident hail
baseball,
expert.
possibly baseball.
3 inches is bigger than baseball.
Okay, so I mean think about a baseball. Put a baseball in your hand. I'll kind of hold it to the side so you can kind of see. But think about a baseball. Think about how big that hail was that would come over parts of Pulaski County just south of Nancy. So that was massive. Chipola, probably getting some hail damage over that way. So again, the worst of the storm trending to the east, So basically between Shopville and down toward Mount Victory, which I believe is close to the Rockcastle County line, or that might be on
The Laurel County line.
Yeah, the Laurel County line, that's right. But the Rockcastle County line is up that way. Sorry about that, folks. But again, we're looking again at those areas kind of included in all that. But still, heavy rain, possibility for a tornado. Rotation has gotten a little bit broader, which is a good thing, but don't let your guard down just yet. We've got about a little less than 30 minutes left on this tornado warning, about 24 minutes, actually about 25 minutes, or 26 minutes. Nope, other way, 23 minutes. I'll get it right here in a second. A little bit of rotation trying to show up near Mount Vernon. They are not under a tornado warning. They are not under a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. They're not under the possible tag, but they're under severe thunderstorm warning. So again, be careful if you're near Mount Vernon. Maybe go ahead and take your shelter right now. So again, that severe thunderstorm warning, no tornado possible tag for Rockcastle, Jackson, and northern parts of Laurel. It does not include East Bernstadt, does not include the city of London. Goes until 5:30. Tornado warning for eastern Pulaski County, Somerset and east, basically until 5:30 as well. And also have a concurrent severe thunderstorm warning that kind of overlaps some of the areas like Shopville, back down toward, actually I think Mount Victory's in the tornado warning. It's just kind of cut off just to the north there. The severe thunderstorm warning that also goes till 5:30. So 5:30 is the wrap up for all of this right now.
I would be surprised if this goes to 5:30.
Yeah,
the way it looks on radar.
It's starting to fall apart a little bit. Again, continue to take your safety precautions for now. We'll keep you posted as we get a little bit more information here and here. But again, tornado warning still in effect until 5:30 for portions of Somerset and eastern Pulaski County. But the bulk of this looks to have moved past Somerset at this point into eastern Pulaski County. So we'll keep an eye on it. If you're traveling along the Howell Rogers Parkway between Somerset and London, pull over, get off of the road if you can, find a sturdy shelter. All right, what's the new update there?
Just people talking in Louisville's chat.
Just chatting. Okay, all right. So again, that's the information we have currently. Let's take another look at velocity, just to kind of confirm what we already kind of know. Broadening out real quick. What do you think, guys? You think that's anything south of Somerset, or is that just a little bit of clutter, a little noise?
I think that's either going to be some heavy wind with that moving through, or perhaps the radar picking up on some of the downward velocity of that hail. But I think what we're seeing here from a storm structure perspective is the line, the cluster is kind of catching up with that individual cell.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about now.
And kind of taking away all the energy that it had.
Right, exactly. Did I just see an update on the radar?
Casey County is just to our border, right? They have trees down in that, over in Casey County.
Okay.
Tornado warning has been canceled.
Okay, I thought I saw the box go away, but that confirms it. So the tornado warning is over. Severe thunderstorm warning goes until 5:30. And then again, we've had reports out of this system. Let's broaden out real quick since the tornado warning is gone and show you. Matter of fact, just keep this map up. So we'll highlight this. All the way basically to the border, you're still under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock tonight. So we're just now getting started with all this. That includes parts of East Tennessee. That includes basically everybody that's in that yellow shaded box. Okay, that goes until 11 o'clock tonight. That cuts off just south of I-64, so Rowan County not included, Elliott County not included, of course Lawrence County. As a matter of fact, Pike County and Floyd County, not yet anyway. They expect the storms as they get a little further east to start to lose some of their punch. I'd say that's probably why they didn't put those eastern counties there in the severe thunderstorm watch. So basically, let's say Magoffin, Knott, Letcher, west in Kentucky until 11 o'clock. I expect to see some of those to the west being chipped off of those pretty soon here too. And then Lee County and Campbell County and Claiborne County in southwest Virginia and East Tennessee also until 11 o'clock. So let's go back to radar. And we'll just take a loop, show you how this kind of developed today. All right, kind of give you a setup there. So, of course, severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing for a couple of different counties: Pulaski, Jackson, Rockcastle, and northern Laurel until 5:30. Keeping an eye on those for you. We've got one just across the border there, another cell trying to fire up in East Tennessee. But you see, they went from nothing to basically a cluster, and they still have to move across eastern Kentucky. Now, I don't know what we've had for air. I know it was a little bit warm here earlier. It's very humid out there, I can tell you that. So if you saw any sunshine today, that's only going to help fuel thunderstorm development. So we're keeping a very close eye on the areas that are still under that watch. Latest update from the SPC came out at 4 o'clock. Don't know if they'll do another one today because basically 4 o'clock is the latest. Evan, do you have something?
I think it's at 8.
At 8?
Last,
okay.
8 or 9.
Okay, so one more update, but at that point, maybe these storms will be gone at that point. But again, for right now, the worst of the action was back out, and we saw that with the large hail and the tornado warnings to the west, level 3 out of 5, level 2 out of 5 in the yellow counties there. That takes us basically all the way to Pikeville, and then the expanded risk goes all across our region into West Virginia and Virginia as well. So we're going to step away for now since all the tornado warnings have expired. We know there's been damage with this. We know there's been large hail, but we're going to return you to a regular. Go ahead, Evan, you got something?
No, I was just going to.
We're going to return to regular programming for now, and we'll be back with you if we need to throughout the afternoon and the evening. On the air this evening as we continue to watch the possibility for another damaging severe thunderstorm. So this one is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. This is a storm we've been tracking across parts of several counties, now crossing the border into basically Bell County. We've been tracking this. It got to basically Campbell County and started to die off. This goes until 8:15 tonight. But the reason we're on the air for this, we had a possible tornado over in Campbell County. But there's also an event that's getting ready to go on up in Harlan here very shortly at the football field at the independent school, where there's they're having a candlelight vigil for a student, a football player who died here very shortly. So again, this is a situation you might want to go ahead in Harlan, even though you're not in the active warning right now, to take cover. So again, especially if you're seeing lightning in the distance, remember if lightning is, you can hear thunder, lightning is close enough to strike you. When thunder roars, go indoors. Middlesboro, this is just a little bit north of you. Pineville's kind of right there on the edge of it. This looks to be traveling right around US 119. We're not going to stay on too long unless we get some damage reports in here, but wanted to kind of give you an update on this one. Tracking this out for you, Cameron, thank you so much for that. He's going to put that out toward Harlan. So Harlan, if it stays on its same speed, it'll be in your area about 8:26, so just before 8:30. So again, I know that vigil is expected to go on between 8 and 9, I believe, there at the high school. So again, giving you early heads up. Everett's, let me scoot over this way so you can actually see the town names and the times there. Everett's at 8:37. They're not quite in the warning just yet, I don't think. And then again over toward Mary Helen, back over that way, 8:29, back up to Alva at 8:11. So you guys will be in that warning there. That's in Bell County. And then you've got the Calmer community, 747. That's basically right on top of you here, actually right now. 752 at Ponza, and then 803 at Bakken. So it's going through some of the lesser populated areas. That doesn't mean they're not as important. It just means that it's going to be kind of more of an unpopulated area, so to speak. But it's going to be traveling along a major highway, US 119, and basically going from just north of Middlesboro into portions of Harlan County. So Ponza, TJ, again, some of that there. The Calmer community, Oaks, a little bit of broad rotation right here, just north of Middlesboro. It's between Middlesboro and Pineville on 25E. So we're going to keep an eye on that for you as well. And that's why we're keeping an eye out for this. This goes until 8:15. Again, City of Harlan not included. Just wanted to give you an early heads up, of course, for that memorial service, that candlelight vigil that they're supposed to have for the student and football player over there at the high school football field. This could, if it holds together, be coming your way here in the next little bit. So watching this one, tornado possible tag on it. No actual tornado warning. This area has been kind of worked over a little bit, but it's not had as much rain as some other places have had today. We've had no damage reports, but we figured we would kind of get on the air just because of the situation that's going on over in Harlan to kind of warn you. I'll give you a little bit of a heads up because there is a possibility for a brief spin up in this one. We've had no damage reports. We've had no confirmed tornado touchdown reports. Again, this is not a tornado warning. It's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it, okay? This is north of Middlesboro. This is south of Pineville. Traveling along US 119. We have some Boeing storms that are not warned right here since we're kind of on this up into parts of Knox County, traveling 25E between, looks like Barberville and Pineville there. So again, some heavy rain, some lightning. These storms are very electrical too. You can kind of see down here toward Middlesboro all the electricity coming from these storms. You go up a little bit toward Manchester, traveling along the Hal Rogers Parkway. London, kind of out of the heaviest bands of rain right now. Not much in the way of rotation showing up there, but again, we're just kind of keeping an eye on this one down here to the south. out, there is some more storms that could develop in areas that have not seen a whole lot yet. I don't think we're going to see too much in the way of any more severe warnings. I'm not going to rule them out, but again, I think this area has worked over a little bit. So just to kind of give you a quick heads up on this line of storms here, Manchester, basically right on top of you now. DeWitt over in Knox County could be there in the next few minutes there, basically about 5 minutes from now. And then you go on up towards Spring Creek and War Branch. I believe War Branch is over toward Leslie County. So again, you got a few minutes out there, but these are not severe. They're just kind of electrical storms, heavy rain storms. The one warning that we're focusing on real quick, and I'm not going to keep you too much longer. I just wanted to give you that quick heads up for those folks over at Harlan that this is a very electrical storm. It's a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Bell County. It includes the city of Middlesboro just to the south of Pineville, but it looks like the bulk of the storm is past Middlesboro at this point, traveling up the US 119 corridor. But we are giving you the early heads up for the folks in Harlan who are doing that candlelight vigil for the high school football player, the teen that was killed in the ATV accident yesterday in Harlan County there, that you've got that coming to you. One more track here. We won't take up too much more of your time, but Harlan, this storm holds together 8:26 for you guys, okay? TJ, which is in the warning there in Bell County, 8:02, just a little bit there, and as we go down toward Middlesboro, again, Alva, the community there, about 8:12. So again, we'll continue to watch this for a little bit. Not going to take up any more time on air. Just wanted to give you a heads up of this coming, especially as we go to Harlan. We'll get you back into regular programming right now. All right, good afternoon, actually good evening, I guess. Right now we're tracking another tornado warning that is coming across the border from Campbell into Claiborne County. And I guess, again, we're tracking that one that's going to impact potentially the Follett. It's actually going to affect Follett too, but this one is going to track toward the Harrogate area as we head into the evening hours. That's a tornado warning that goes until 9 o'clock. So we're tracking that little bit of rotation. There's actually a couple of rounds there that we're circling there for you. We haven't been on for the Campbell ones yet because when they get a little far south, we're kind of not on down that way. So again, you show that one near Caryville. That's about to cross I-75 down that way going toward La Follette. We have this one right here at Elk Valley that is heading toward Habersham. I think I said that right, Cameron, didn't I? Habersham there going this way. But this is the one that will impact parts of the region there going up toward the Kentucky border. So again, another severe thunderstorm warning that we're tracking up toward Bell and Harlan counties goes for a little bit longer as well. We're looking at that until 8:45. That also has a tornado possible tag on it. But going back to the tornado warning for a second, again, make sure if you're in these areas that are highlighted to take your tornado safety precautions. We're looking at basically Habersham. Basically, about the next 10 minutes, 8:22. Clearfield over there at about 8:35. Valley Creek at 8:40. Fondy, that's up in Bell County. Okay, so if this holds together, it'll be in Bell County by 8:40 there. We're going to continue to watch that. And again, Harrogate just across the border there from Middlesboro, so we're going to keep an eye on this one as well. So again, this is a tornado warning. Take your safety precautions downstairs under something sturdy. If you don't have a basement, under something sturdy, put as much between you and the outside as possible. Make sure that you're away from windows. And if you're in a car or a mobile home, get out, pull over, try to find a safe space, a building that can withstand some strong winds. Now we take you back over to the severe thunderstorm warning tornado possible tag on it.
This does now include downtown Harlan.
Okay, so downtown Harlan, you're now included in this. It's a severe thunderstorm warning, but it has a tornado possible tag. So we came on, hopefully the folks who are going to gather at the Harlan Independent Schools football field decided to postpone that for a little bit. I know they were planning on having a candlelight vigil over there. We came on a little earlier to try to warn you about that, but this now includes the city of Harlan, Everett's as well, it looks like there.
Looks like it's going to kind of skirt the Kentucky-Virginia border.
Yeah, exactly. And there's also one, is it just a severe thunderstorm warning for Lee County, Virginia?
Yes, it's the same storm.
But is it just a regular warning or is it tornado possible?
Tornado possible.
Okay, so basically it's going to skirt the county line there. So you see Ewing is also included in this warning, but the communities, we're going to call them out right quick. Kaywood, 847. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it. We're being overly cautious with these tonight because some of these storms have already had proven damage already today. We're looking at Hubbard Springs about 844, Kaywood 847, Cranks at 850, Everett's 855. Now again, the bulk of this circulation will kind of be just south of Harlan, but Harlan is included in the warning, so you can kind of see where he put that track on there. It's kind of going in that direction, but regardless, if you hear thunder and lightning, or hear thunder in Harlan, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. So again, remember that. And we see as we switch over to velocity.
This is from Jackson, so this is a little bit better look in my opinion.
All right.
Some broad rotation on the
right there.
state line.
Yeah, so this is Lee County, Virginia. This is Bell County, Kentucky, and then over here is Harlan County on up the road just a little bit. Right there, he's circling the circulation there, the rotation there. So that's kind of what we're watching. So if you're right along the Bell, Lee, and Harlan County lines along Highway 987, maybe take cover, okay? Even though this is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag on it, we need to keep an eye on this one. Let's go back to the tornado warning there real quick, Cameron, and see exactly where we're at with that one. Of course, here's Middlesboro, and then across right through the tunnel there as we move through is basically Harrogate, okay? That's where LMU's campus is, so we're keeping an eye on this. This one's basically back over toward Habersham. There's center of circulation there, but it is traveling a little bit closer up toward Clarefeld, going across this is still in Campbell County, by the way. It will cross the Claiborne County line near Clarefeld right there. And right here, let's scoot back over toward Middlesboro. Right here is Harrogate, right here, right across the border right there. So if we go through, let's put a track on that one for you. This is an actual tornado warning.
This will get up to Middlesboro, but they're not in the warning.
Right.
Make that perfectly clear.
Exactly. So we're gonna track this. Even though Middlesboro is showing up in this warning, they are not included in the warning at this point, okay? Middlesboro, are they in the severe thunderstorm tornado possible
No,
one?
that's on off to the east
okay,
now.
so that's east of you too. So Middlesboro, Pineville, you're okay for the moment, okay? Maybe just keep an eye on this storm.
Yeah,
but
this one holds together. That'll be close to Middlesboro.
Right.
In about an hour-ish.
Right. Okay. So basically, Harrogate, 901. Okay. It's showing up after Middlesboro, but Middlesboro's not in the warning. Harrogate is. Okay. So you've got Powell Valley back down. That's in Claiborne County there at 846. Fondy Mountain, that is not in the warning, but that is in Bell County. Okay. This is basically Claiborne and Campbell for the actual warning that goes until 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. Till 9 o'clock. So, Harrogate will be just after the warning unless they extend it. Okay, that could include parts of southeast Kentucky there. You've seen there's not a whole lot of rain that's worked through there today, so we're going to continue to watch this. But right now, the area we're focused on is basically 25W, just east of I-75 there, going from Jellicoe Mountain down into Tennessee there, past going down toward La Follette. But this is north of that, and of course, that's where we're seeing that area of circulation right there approaching 25W. So if you're heading out of Whitley County through Campbell County, on 25W, you need to pull over, stop, make sure if you get to the Habersham community there that you need to back up a little bit, okay? Because right there is where that circulation is coming through. We're going to continue to watch this circulation over here, going through parts of southern Bell County. It is past the Calmer community. It's basically riding along the Kentucky, Virginia line right there between Bell County and Lee County, northwest of Ewing. That is in Lee County along 58 there, Kaler community. But you can see a little bit of a notch trying to form right there at Cameron.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit better look at that from Jackson. So as you can see, a little bit of a hook there trying to show up again. No tornado warning in effect, but we do have that severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it. So we'll keep a close eye on that. If you live near the Kentucky and Virginia border in portions of northwestern Lee County, extreme southeastern Bell County into southern Harlan County, this is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. So again, we'll keep a close eye on that. But that is looking to kind of get its act together a little bit those past few scans. Let me back it up a little bit so you can see.
Yeah, it looks like it's trying to tighten up just a little bit.
It's kind of gotten its act together.
Yeah.
Nothing really there, but the past few scans it's really gotten kind of a little bit tighter. So we'll keep a close eye on that and see what Jackson wants to do.
Yeah, so again, if you live along 987 over into parts of Bell, Harlan County right there along the line, safe spot. Okay, just in case. This is not a confirmed tornado warning yet, but it's a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag. You can see as we put the track on it again, Jonesville, that's in Lee County, Virginia. You were also included in that same warning, 856. Cranks in Harlan County, that's at 852. Kaywood, 849. Smith, 843. Back it up there just a little bit, and you see Hennigertown there at 838. So we're just going to continue to watch this as we see that tightening up right there with the hook trying to form. Now again, no confirmed tornadoes with either one of these cells, including the tornado warning there in East Tennessee. All right, so we're seeing some more broad rotation. We'll switch back to the Morristown radar, it looks like, along the Habersham area right there near that community of Habersham along 25W. This goes until 9 o'clock. Tornado warning active, so again, can't stress enough, either if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning with the tornado possible tag on it or the tornado warned areas, downstairs in a basement, if you've got one, under something sturdy, put as much between you and the outside as possible. Stay away from windows. If you are in a car or a trailer, please find another alternate space to be in because neither one of those are safe. Evan, you need to add anything?
So watching a couple of things. First off, the Weather Service just put out a statement for the line of storms moving in behind this one into portions of the Cumberland Valley. It looks like they're dealing with winds in excess of 30 miles per hour and pea-sized hail. Those should continue to weaken since we've really worked over the atmosphere. But I've seen some reports from some of the ham radio operators in Morristown's chat that the weather radio station in La Follette appears to be off the air.
Okay, so that's and Cameron's highlighting a little center circulation that's still tightening up just a little bit there along the. This is the Bell Harlan Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the Bell Harlan County line right there along 987. Goes back over toward, again, it's right there on the border between Bell, Harlan, and Lee County, Virginia. That's where we've been seeing that kind of that notch. So that tells you there at least could be some stronger winds, and the sky, the clouds could be rotating over that way. No confirmed touchdowns, no tornado confirmation, but that would
tornado warning for Bell and Harlan.
All right, there it is. So there it goes. So basically, new tornado warning till what time?
This is until 8:45.
All right, till 8:45. They're seeing what we're seeing at the Weather Service office in Jackson. This is only for Bell and Harlan, okay? There is the area of circulation tightening up there along Highway 987. If you're along Highway, this is back toward, I saw Martins Fork Lake pop up there for just a second. So if you're out near Martins Fork Lake, you need to be taking shelter right now. 987, one of the major roads that goes over there. US 58 over in Lee County, Virginia. Again, Lee County not under a tornado warning right now. This is skirting right along the line there with Bell and Harlan counties. We're going to put the track on it again, see some of the communities impacted with this. This is moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. So you got Hennigertown, that's right there on the border there with Harlan and Lee County, Virginia. Hagen, 836 for Hennigertown. Hagen, 838, that is in Harlan County. Hubbard Springs at 845, Kaywood, 847. So you've got some time, but you don't have a whole lot of time. Tornado warning in effect until about 8:45 there for parts of southeastern Harlan County, just a sliver of southeastern Bell County there, and then not so much over into Lee County. But again, this is not a very populated area, but there's a very popular destination that's under this polygon, which is going just a little bit closer. There's right there. Martins Fork Lake is under that right there. So you've got this center of circulation down here, traveling basically along 987, which is expected to skirt Martins Fork Lake over in Harlan County, right near the Tennessee or near the Kentucky-Virginia border.
The National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky has issued a tornado warning for southwestern Harlan County, southeastern Bell County, until 8:45 p.m. At 8:21 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Cubage, or 13 miles southwest of Harlan, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Hensley Store around 8:35 p.m. Pepe Store around 8:40 p.m. Other locations in the path of this tornadic thunderstorm include Smith. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 8:45 p.m. for the following counties in Kentucky: Bell and Harlan.
58 Ewing. The community of Ewing in Lee County, Virginia is also in this warning, but again, it's kind of right there along the Harlan, Bell, and Lee County line. Bell County, you should clear out here pretty soon. I would expect to see that tornado warning for that part of the area dropped here momentarily, but it's kind of moving out of that. Putting another track on right here, the inflow notch that we're kind of keeping an eye on. That's going to move through Hennigertown. I believe that's right there on the Harlan, Lee County line at 8:38. Let me scoot this way for just a second so you can see the list of towns there and times. Hagen at 8:40. I'm not sure exactly which state that's in there, but Carroll's Mill at 8:42. Smith, that is in Harlan County, 8:44. Hockett at 8:50. Cranks, that is in Harlan County, 8:53. And if it holds together, it'll be in Jonesville by 8:56. Jonesville not in this tornado warning right now, but again, we'll see if they extend that a little bit. This is an area that's not been worked over too much today, but it's trying to get its act together. So we go back to Campbell County. This one will cross into Claiborne County here in a little bit. Goes until 9 o'clock?
Yes.
9 o'clock. Okay, so it's past, the center circulation is past the Habersham community on 25W, kind of crossing up. It's broadened out just a little bit, or is it tightening? But it might be tightening back up just a little bit. But it's heading this way, kind of northeast there. What's the speed on that one?
35 as well.
35 miles per hour. So again, this will head toward the Kentucky border. Harrogate's back here, just across the tunnel from Middlesboro. So it may cross right there, kind of around Fondy Mountain, potentially, or right there's popping up. So this is the area that could be impacted. So Westbourne is still in Campbell County, Tennessee. Clairfield is in Claiborne County, Tennessee. So basically for Westbourne, I hope you're in your tornado spot right now. If you're watching from down that way, Clairfield, you got about 10 minutes, 8:37 to get in your spot. Fondy Mountain over in Bell County. If this crosses the border and holds together, about 8:36. So again, you've got got just a few minutes to get into that spot. We go back to this one over here into parts of Harlan, Lee, and Bell counties. At this point, it's crossing the Bell County line into Harlan County. So again, that's the area of rotation. We're kind of focused in on Highway 987, just south of 2005. Is that what that road number is there?
Yep.
At 2005, that's where the center of circulation is, moving toward Martins Fork Lake along 987 over that way. So if you know anybody on Martins Fork Lake, give them a call. Say, hey, get off your boats, get to shore, find some shelter. Okay, so we're keeping a very close eye on that area right now in southeastern Harlan County, right along the Lee County border. Still not seeing anything
Yeah, it's too
being
noisy.
lofted. But again, this is an area that doesn't have very good radar coverage. It's between Jackson's radar and between Morristown's radar. So if you get any reports, once you can safely do so, wait until the storm passes, but once you can safely do so, submit those to us. Get those to us here at the station, and we will get those up as fast as we can. So again, just areas, I keep calling out kind of the same communities, but if you live right there along the Lee County, Harlan County line, safe spot right now. Downstairs, basement, if you've got one. If you live in a mobile home, get out. It's not built for tornado winds. We don't have any confirmed touchdowns right now, but this is a very serious cell that we're watching there. And Cameron, what are you highlighting there? Kind of across
where
the
the
border?
hook is.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, it's kind of more of a broken hook at this point.
Yep.
Any new information there?
They've just kind of trimmed back that severe thunderstorm warning for just a very small sliver
yeah,
of Bell County.
I see what you, yeah, exactly. So they've still got the tornado warning in place,
Yes.
but it looks like to me, most of Bell County is clear because right here is the county line. So I think most of Bell County is kind of safe at this point. I feel confident enough to say that. But again, Highway 997, north of Highway 58 there in Virginia, this is the area of greatest concern. South of the Alva community, that's definitely in Harlan County now. Martins Fork Lake, it's going to go right over top of you over 987. Could clip Hennigertown, that is over in Lee County, Virginia. It could clip the Hagen community there in Lee County, Virginia. I believe it might be right there on the line. I know that's in Lee County, Virginia. Okay, Smith is a possibility up there, just north and east of Martins Fork Lake. So again, got to be very, very aware of this situation down that way. Okay, so we're gonna keep a very close eye on this. Let's go back to Campbell. Go ahead.
We got a report in the chat of a slow rotating cloud in Harlan County, so that would probably be with this cell here.
This cell right here.
Rotation, which is what we see on radar. We're looking at some pretty strong rotation
Right.
with those reds and greens there. So rotating clouds for sure in southern Harlan County from the National Weather Service.
Put the debris signature back on it for just a second. I just want to take one more look. Is this noise
I think it's just kind of on the outskirts
Yeah,
there.
because go back to velocity because it's kind of matching
close.
up with the.
It is close.
Yeah, so it's so that if there is, and we're not saying there is, but if there would be a tornado, it would be a brief one, and it could have touched down right there along the Lee-Harlan County border. I'm not saying, please don't take me saying that a tornado has touched down. I'm not saying that at all. But if one did, right there in that area would probably be the area that it would touch down in. So we're still watching this tornado warning that's impacting parts of Claiborne and Campbell counties. We're going to continue to watch that till
they've taken Bell out of the warning. So
okay,
all clear for Bell.
All clear for Bell. We're giving you the all clear there, but for Claiborne and Campbell counties, still crossing. It's getting close to the the Claiborne-Campbell County line there. So we're going to continue to watch that. Is that even?
Rotation's kind of broadened out.
I was starting to say, is that even in the warning anymore?
Yeah.
Is it the polygon's to the south, isn't it?
There's two.
Oh, I see it now. I see the other polygon was so big I couldn't catch it there for a second. Okay, so again, that continues until 9 o'clock, takes us right up to the Bell County border. So Bell County, stay on guard, especially if you live in the Fondy Mountain area, back over toward Fork Ridge, even Middlesboro. So again, if this crosses the border, it'll probably be west of Middlesboro, but it's got to hold together. The rotation, as Cameron said, has broadened out just a little bit. Just a little bit there. Back to the Harlan County storm. Bell County, you're clear. Eastern Bell County is out of the tornado warning. You're still in the severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warning continues until 8:45, which is another about 14 minutes there for parts of Harlan County, and until 9 o'clock for Lee County, Virginia. Ewing, I'm just about ready to give you the all clear too over that way because you don't have a whole lot going on, at least with the rain. You may still be seeing some pretty good rain over that way, or we're continuing to watch that.
They're just going to continue the tornado warning for Campbell and Claiborne.
Okay, so that's what the update on is on that. So again, right here is our area of circulation that we're continuing to watch, and right here is Martins Fork Lake. It's right back up here. Okay, so that is literally riding along the Harlan County, Lee County line. We're continuing to watch that until at least 8:45, 9 o'clock. Harlan County is 8:45, Lee County is 9 o'clock. So again, it's going to skirt the border. So if you live along Highway 987, if you live north of 58, Hagen, one of the communities, Hubbard Springs, if you live in those areas, Martins Fork Lake, right there, the Martins Fork community as well, this rotation is heading right toward you, okay? Right up 987. So again, if you know anybody that's on the lake, tell them to get to shelter, get to safety right now. I know it's almost 8:30, so again, it's one of those situations, hopefully nobody's still out there, but if you know somebody who night fishes and maybe they're out on the lake, try to get word to them because it could be a bad situation over there. No confirmed tornado touchdown at this point, but we're watching this situation very closely. Cameron?
Yeah, if you know anybody that may be driving on US 58 in Lee County, that circulation is pretty close to that highway as well. So no one should be driving on US 58 in Lee County. No one should be driving on Highway 987 in Harlan County. And again, no, you don't want to be in a car. You don't want to be in a mobile home during a tornado warning. So if you live in southern Harlan County near the Virginia and Kentucky border, just go ahead and go to your safe place. That's the lowest floor of your home, near the center. Put as many walls between you and the outside. You want to be in a small room with no windows. This does not include downtown Harlan. Let's make that clear again. Here is your polygon, so Harlan is up to the north of that. They do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Harlan, but no tornado warning. That is off to the south near the Kentucky and Tennessee or Kentucky-Virginia borders.
Exactly. So again, as Cameron mentioned, you don't want to be on the roads, don't want to be in mobile homes. Just be as safe as you can with this system. Let's back it up here and kind of zoom just out just a hair and put a little bit of a loop on there to show you how this storm tracked over the last little bit.
Let me turn on Jackson.
While you're doing that, another report from one of the spotters in the chat that the ham radio
Report.
spotter,
Yeah.
there we go. The rotation has dissipated with that storm a little bit, at least in the cloud, and is no longer visible, but we're also past dark.
Is that in Harlan County?
Yes.
Okay. So we're kind of keeping an eye on that, but it's still showing up on radar there. But this is kind of the progression of the last little bit.
It really just kind of got its act together.
Exactly. Once it hit kind of the eastern Bell County, Harlan County line, it really started to get its act together. And I don't know that there's been a lot of storm activity down that way today in that section of Harlan County. So again, very populated, not necessarily populated, but very visited area out there at Martins Fork Lake. A lot of folks out there, summertime, trying to get out on the lake. It's been raining for a little bit today.
Another good point to add, Brandon. This storm originated back in northeast Tennessee. We watched this go through Campbell County, go through Claiborne County, go through Bell County. So this storm kind of just won't go away.
It ebbs and flows. It gets below severe limits, and then it ramps back up, and that's exactly what it's doing right now. Thank you for that, Cameron. What it's doing here in Harlan County. So again, right there along the Lee-Harlan County line there, Virginia for Lee, and then Harlan County, Kentucky. 987, still traveling toward Martins Fork. I hope you were able to get word to the folks that may still be out there on the lake or in that community that they're in danger. Okay, so here's some times. I'll step back off and read them to you. Hagen, 841, which is about 6 minutes away. Sampson, 843. Smith, which I know is in Harlan County, at 845. Hubbard Springs, 848. Hockett at 851. Cranks, also in Harlan County, at 854. And Jonesville at 858. That tornado warning for Lee County expires at 9, but Jonesville proper not in that polygon just yet. So we'll have to wait and see what they decide to do with that.
Yeah, Crank's also not in that warning just yet, but if they extend it.
Yeah, right. So if it gets extended, which it could. I mean, this wouldn't surprise me. So I'm going to give an early heads up to our neighbors over in Wise County. If they extend this a little bit further, it will be in your neck of the woods. So if you live over toward Pennington Gap, back over toward Big Stone Gap, if this gets extended, again, basically, can you draw me a line along both of those polygons?
Yep.
So I can kind of point it out there where this would be going, so we can kind of show that. There we go. So there's the one that was going through Harlan County. It'll scoot up into parts of Harlan County and eventually over into the Wise County, Virginia area, Keokee. And this one will go through Jonesville, Pennington Gap, and over into Dryden there in Wise County. So again, a lot of communities will be impacted by this if they continue the warning. But again, and they probably could, because there's not been a whole lot of atmosphere work over there. Back to Claiborne and Campbell counties, we're looking at the circulation trying to tighten up a little bit, maybe as it approaches the Claiborne County line. There's a little bit of a notch there trying to form just south of Clairfield there, so we're going to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, the one in Harlan County is way more impressive.
Yeah, this one's kind of fell apart just a little bit, but Bell County, southern Bell County, still be on alert. The one we're really focused on here is this one going, it's basically, if the scan is going just a little bit closer, it should be right on top of Martins Fork Lake. Yep, it's basically right there on top of Martins Fork Lake at this point. So, again, hopefully you got word to those folks that they need to take shelter, get off the lake. Not a safe place to be in a boat, car, mobile home. Find some sturdy shelter. Downstairs in the basement, if you've got one. Underground is always best, as we tell the kids at the school visits. Of course, you can also take shelter in an interior room with no windows. Put as much between you and the tornado as possible. Downstairs, lowest floor. We're going to continue to watch this one. And that goes for Harlan County until 8:45, 9 o'clock to Lee County, Virginia. So we're keeping a very close eye on this storm. Any more reports, Evan or Cameron? Anybody?
Doesn't look like it so far. We got some hail reports out of East Tennessee with the cells that have continued to move to the east and the southeast across Campbell and Claiborne counties. But looking at those cells in Campbell and Claiborne counties, they have really fallen apart over the last little while. So I wouldn't be shocked if those warnings were allowed to expire soon into portions of East Tennessee, at least in Campbell and Claiborne counties when it comes to the severe thunderstorm potential. But still watching that storm into portions of, well, the main rotation, as you've been saying, is crossed more into Lee County, Virginia at this point. And yeah, it's really tightened up right there. And turn on the correlation coefficient, the debris signature, because I am noticing a little bit of a dropout that kind of goes along with...
Are you looking from Morristown or Jackson?
I'm looking from Morristown myself. I got this up in radar scope over here at the news desk, and you can kind of see near Hennigertown, just west.
So right there, that's not just noise. Let me go here and point it out for you right fast. You talking about this area right here?
Yes,
right
it's a little displaced, but still something to bear watching. I'm not sure what's going on with those two further to the north, where that could be some hail, actually.
Yeah. Probably some hail cores maybe showing up on that. Yeah, so there you go. So we're continuing to watch all this, but I can tell you this. These storms have had a history of producing large hail in other areas. Somerset and Pulaski County, all that area kind of got hit hard. We've got some pictures up on our social media pages. There's some power outages out that way. Haven't checked them in a little while, but I know Rockcastle and Pulaski counties were leading the charge with those. Don't expect to see a whole lot more widespread power outages, but again, some are possible there because these storms are very electrical, lots of wind, lots of hail. Again, This is a system that has been working its way, and as Cameron added earlier, we've tracked this one all the way through East Tennessee, all the way into Bell County. Kind of fell apart a little bit when it got to eastern Bell County, got its act back together. Now it's kind of bearing down right there along
making more of a little bit of a right turn.
Yeah, so it's kind of going more into like Lee County. It looks like at this point. So it's coming out of Harlan County. If you're at Martins Fork Lake, it just basically skirted you on Highway 987. It's kind of curving over into Lee County. So Hennikertown, Hagen, back over toward Hubbard Springs. It's going to kind of move this area, especially if it starts to drift up Highway 58. So if you live along Highway 58 between Ewing and basically Jonesville, you need to be kind of pulled over, shelter in place. Make sure that you're not out. If you see anybody out on the roads, or you know anybody that's out on the roads, try to call them like, hey, get off the roads, get into a building. Very unsafe situation to be in.
Yeah, if you know anybody in Smiley, over towards Hagen, along Highway 58, over towards Burning Well Road, over towards Hubbard Springs as well, in Lee County, Virginia, just give them a heads up. Make sure that they know that there is a tornado warned storm. No confirmation as of right now. Some good news, the Campbell and Claiborne County warning was expired or canceled. So that's off the board.
So I was going to say they've replaced that with a severe thunderstorm warning, at least for one of those cells. So kind of seeing what we're seeing, and now
a severe thunderstorm warning for Harlan with a tornado possible tag.
Let's see where that's at.
That might be, yes, that's for the northern half of this cell.
So this including the city of Harlan this time?
No.
Looks like the southern.
Oh, just south, right here. Okay, so that includes the city of Everts, though. So areas like the Everts and Kaywood, some of the more populated communities over that way. So again, tornado possible tag on this. When does that expire?
9/15.
9/15. Yeah, I've got it on my watch here. Okay, so we're going to keep going.
I think this will be more of a for the tornadic part.
Right, it will
Lee County, Virginia.
Yeah, Lee County, Virginia now kind of getting into that. So I would say I'm not giving the all clear to Harlan County just yet. They're southeastern Harlan County, but I do believe, I think Cameron's right. It's kind of turning into Lee County, Virginia. You're going to put a track on there.
Heads up, Jonesville. Not in the warning, but you're
exactly
close.
So basically, you're not in the warning yet, but Jonesville at 8:58 there. Pennington Gap, if this holds together, it could be working your way. About 9:08, Hubbard Springs, which we know is in Lee County now, at 8:49 Smiley. It's basically right on top of you right now. It's coming up on 8:42. So we're going to continue to watch that as we head through the nighttime hours. A little bit of a decent couplet there trying to show up. No confirmed tornado touchdown. This is kind of an area that not as populated, but it is populated to some degree, but it's along major U.S. highway, US 58, that connects basically Jonesville and Ewing out there from central Lee County to western Lee County. So again, we're kind of keeping an eye on this, but it has kind of shifted a little bit more into Lee County.
Yeah, no damage reports either. That's good news
so
far.
That is some good news. We still have the one, is that expired or is that still active?
The southern one's still active, but it doesn't look great.
Okay, but yeah, it's kind of...
Well, let's see. I got on Jackson. Let me turn on
Morristown.
Actually, no, I have Morristown on.
So that must be falling apart pretty quickly. So I'd say they'll let that one go here before too long.
Yeah, so we're really just down to this one.
So we're down to this one right over here along the Kentucky-Virginia border. Now, don't forget, there is a severe thunderstorm warning with a tornado possible tag till 9:15. That includes parts of Everts and parts of Kaywood. So that's a little bit north of this cell, and he's kind of pointing out the circulation right there, and it's kind of tightening up a little bit again, at least by rateful activity. You see a little inflow notch there. That's kind of the area where you would see, if it was bright outside, you could see those winds kind of spinning the clouds around the atmosphere. So that's what we're watching there, kind of keeping an eye on that. But Carroll Mill community, be in your safe spot. Those areas where this is in Hennikertown, hopefully you're in your safe spot. Hagen, this is all over in Lee County, Virginia. Be in your safe spot right now. And again, Martins Fork, you're almost in the clear. Not quite there just yet. Rain should be winding down. Very electrical. Lots of lightning strikes in this storm. And of course, we're continuing to track this, and we'll keep an eye on it for you as we get a little bit closer in. Now, there is a severe thunderstorm warning. When does that one expire? That includes Harlan, but most of the heavier rain's out of there anyway right now.
That one will expire at 8:45. They've already said that one's going to expire.
So Harlan, you're just about out of it. But again, hopefully you took warning to our previous cut in. where we talked about trying to postpone the candlelight vigil for the football player, and that was probably a good idea in hindsight, because again, it's just one of those situations where it's going to be a very dangerous, even with just lightning, if you're not under that. All right, back to the circulation here on going into Lee County, right there on the Harlan-Lee County border. Is the tornado warning going to expire for Harlan County at 8:45?
Yes.
Okay, so we're basically focused on Lee County, Virginia right now until 9, and we'll see if they let that warning go. We will cover this on air as long as that warning goes. If it gets extended a little further.
Nope.
Just kidding.
Tornado warning for Harlan County.
All right, so they're still watching this storm.
And that one takes in Cranks.
Okay, so this is, again, 421 if you're going from Kaywood toward the Virginia border, okay, to the Cranks community. When's that one go?
9:15.
9:15. So we're still under the gun here. They decide to continue that warning and push it out. And basically, this will be all of Harlan County. This is the border right there, 421 coming from Kaywood out of Harlan, going down into Lee County, Virginia. So I would say, if I had to guess, this warning will get extended past 9 o'clock and take in Jonesville. So again, we're going to continue to watch all this, but the new tornado warning goes for 9:15. Now, here's an interesting fact. Go back to the warning for just a second, because I noticed something I wanted to point out. Tag on it once again for me.
Yep, 1 second.
There is a hail component with this one, so you got to watch out for that too. We're keeping an eye on that as well. Had lots of hail reports tonight. Earlier, we had some out in Pulaski County that could have been tennis ball sized out there. So again, we're continuing to watch these cells move toward Cranks. Not a whole lot of rotation. The rotation right now that we're seeing is in Lee County, Virginia. Hagan community going back over toward Carroll Mill, Henrytown, those areas. Now Smith, this new warning includes Cranks going back over toward the border there with Kentucky and Lee County, Virginia. So we'll wait and see exactly what's going to happen with that tornado warning in Lee
They're going to
County.
continue it. So I
Okay, so
assume
they're
that
going to
they
continue it till 9.
cut out some part.
The National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky has issued a tornado warning for south central Harlan County until 9:15 p.m. At 8:44 p.m., a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Smith, or 8 miles south of Harlan, moving east at 30 miles per hour. Hazard, tornado and quarter-size hail. Source, radar indicated rotation. Impact, flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. This dangerous storm will be near Cranks around 8:55 p.m. Repeating, a tornado warning has been issued until 9:15 p.m. for the following county: Harlan, Kentucky.
If you're watching us from Jonesville, go ahead and get into your tornado size spot. I mean, if this couplet holds together, they're going to extend this morning. So I'd say Jones will be in this pretty soon, maybe even Pennington Gap if this northern cell continues into this. So early warning for Pennington Gap and Jonesville. Start making your plans and your preparations to get in your basements, your tornado safe spots, because we expect that this warning, if all this holds together, will be extended even further into Lee County.
Pennington Gap had some damage just a few weeks ago from severe weather. So
yep, exactly.
Another round there.
Exactly. So again, wind-based, no confirmed tornadoes at this point. Just trying to keep you on guard. The new Harlan County warning goes until 9:15. That includes Smith and Cranks. The Lee County warning, Ewing is cut out now. But again, if they extend this, that will include Jonesville on the southern end, and then also include Pennington Gap on the northern end if they decide to move both those tornado warnings out. So Pennington Gap, about 9:15, Jonesville about 9:03, which is basically after the warnings are expected to expire for both of those cells. But again, keep an eye out. Keokee, which is over in Wise County, if it holds together by 9:33, and then Fraleytown over there by 9:35. That's also over, I believe, that might be over in Scott County, Virginia. I'm not exactly sure on that one.
Fraleytown?
Yeah.
Yes, you're correct.
Okay, so that's Scott County. It's out of our coverage area, but again, we'll continue tracking this as it goes through Lee and Wise counties if it makes it that far. So Pennington Gap, Jonesville, early heads up that this system holds together. you need to be in your tornado safe spot.
The National Weather Service in Morristown is calling this a strongly rotating supercell. So some good rotation here near Hubbard Springs, Carroll Mill, over towards just to the east now of Martins Fork. So if you know anybody that lives near the Harlan, Lee County line, the Kentucky-Virginia state border, they need to be in their safe place near Highway 58 over towards Highway 987 as well. In Harlan County, no one should be driving. You need to be off the road if you're driving on US 58. In Lee County from Jonesville over towards Ewing, you need to be off the road and in your safe place immediately.
Okay, so let's go just a little closer here. This also, the warning from Kaywood over toward the Lee County, Virginia line, that's US Highway 421. If you know anybody traveling into Lee County that way, tell them to get off the roads. Very strong couplet here, very, give me the wording again Morristown used.
Strongly rotating supercell.
Strongly rotating supercell there near Hubbard Springs. Hockett, you're in the line of this. And again, Jonesville will eventually be in the line of this if it holds together, which it sounds like based on the wording from Morristown that it will. So again, early heads up for Jonesville, early heads up here for Cranks, which is in the tornado warning until 9:15 up there along 421 in Harlan County. So giving you some early warnings there to get into your tornado safe spot. Hubbard Springs, this is about right on top of you right now. Decently rotating storm. Let's zoom in pretty close, see if we can get some local roads there that might be impacted by this storm there, a little close as we can get. Not seeing a whole lot there. It's not a very, it's populated, but it's less populated than places like Jonesville and some of the areas in Harlan County. So again, we're continuing to watch this. Smith over there along the 987, US 58, those are the two major roads. This is right along the Kentucky-Virginia border there. We're continuing to track this. So again, this area right here, Cameron, if you want to try to circle that for me, that is the area we're watching right there between just outside the Hubbard Springs area. That's the rotation that we're keeping a very close eye on. Morristown's monitoring it as well, and we'll see if they continue this warning past 9 o'clock. It's 8:50 right now, almost 8:51, so we'll see what happens with that.
Some smaller streets, Brandon, that are in this path, some Railroad Drive, Hubbard Springs Road, Hubbard Church Road, Russell Chapel Road, Sugar Run Road, over towards, Old Friendship Road. If any of these places sound familiar, go to your safe place immediately. This is north of US 58. So again, any of these places sound familiar near Hubbard Springs and Hockett, you need to be sheltered immediately. The lowest floor near the center, away from windows, hallway, closet, bathroom. Have a helmet on for everybody. Everybody needs to have a helmet on. You don't want to be in a car and you don't want to be in a mobile home if you're in this tornado warned polygon.
I just saw on our Buffalo Mountain camera, because we have them on the monitors, over there some lightning here in Perry County, but we're still focusing on this storm right here because this is the one that has the best chance of producing a tornado. Okay, no confirmed tornado. Let me stress that, no confirmed tornado. But if we have one, this is the oh wow, look at that hook. It's literally come into focus there in the last little bit. So if there's going to be a tornado, it is going to be right here south of Hubbard Springs, right along US 58 there, and this would travel right into Jonesville if it holds its course. So again, cannot stress enough what a dangerous situation this is. There's hail reports with this. So basically, I would not be surprised. Let's go back to velocity.
Looks like they're looking at rotation from Harlan County from this storm.
So okay, they can see it from Harlan County, but looking down into Lee County, Virginia. Yes. So, well, it pulled just a little bit to the north. So Jonesville might get lucky with this one, but stay on your guard anyway. This tornado warning does not include Jonesville just yet. We'll see what changes, if that changes here in the next few seconds. Nope, nothing yet.
They've kind of trimmed it off.
From the back end.
And the southern end too, kind of
Oh, I see it. Yep. It's kind of
small storm.
Yeah, so it's kind of okay. So again, severe thunderstorm warning, tornado possible for parts of Harlan County, tornado warning for parts of Harlan County, tornado warning for Lee County, Virginia. All those go until 9 or 9:15 at this point. So again, just stay on guard. I know it's getting later into the evening. The atmosphere should start to be stabilized, but many of these areas have not been worked over too much today. And again, we were a little bit concerned here behind the scenes. We were talking about if the clouds cleared enough over there, but obviously that didn't make much difference because you've got this very potent supercell here that is making its way into parts of Lee County,
we have
Virginia.
a sensor in Jonesville, right?
I do believe we do.
Let's see what that's looking like real quick.
Yeah,
I believe that's the airport too.
Yeah.
So 70.
So that's not 1072 in Harlan. So that's
their
kind
dew
of
point 70 over 66.
Oh yeah. So that's
juicy.
Yeah, it's juicy over that way for sure. So again, back to radar. Kind of tracking this for you. Of course, the new SPC outlook is supposed to come down at 9. It should be just a few minutes away, but I suspect we will not be seeing the enhanced to the west anymore. This area right here, again, will probably be highlighted, if anything, on the new outlook there.
Still a very well-defined hook.
Oh yeah. So you can literally see. Now, here's the thing: even if you don't have a tornado touchdown, debris is a little bit messy there.
Yep.
But even if you don't have a touchdown, you're going to have strong winds anywhere inside of this hook. It's a notch. So anywhere you see where it curves and bows. Okay, so it got a little bit less defined there on the next scan. So, but still, tornado warning. It's actually getting ready to cross out the polygon. So Morristown will have to make a decision here pretty soon about what they're going to do with that warning there in Southwest Virginia, if they're going to extend it or let it go. But I mean, go back to velocity for just a second. That couplet, they're watching that very closely over at Morristown.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. We're going to continue to kind of look at that.
It's still really well defined.
Oh yeah, I mean, they have to extend that warning. They have to, because that couplet very well defined. So Jonesville early heads up. This will be heading.
Well, there it
in.
is.
There it is. There, I called it right there.
9:45.
9:45 there for Jonesville. Does that include Pennington Gap?
Yes.
It includes Pennington Gap as well. So again, new tornado warning. It also takes in Dryden. I believe that is that in
Yes.
Wise County?
Dryden is in Lee County.
Still in Lee County? Okay,
Yes.
so there you go. Dryden, Pennington Gap, Jonesville, all the communities in between those. That's basically the Highway 58 corridor. Again, 9:45, correct? Mm-hmm. Yep, okay, 9:45. We're continuing to watch, again, as we track this storm, basically going through parts of Lee County, Virginia. It's still a very impressive rotation couplet there, so to speak. We're going to continue to watch that. It is past Hubbard Springs. The rotation part of it is anyway. Smith, you're almost in the clear. Cranks, you still got one until 9 o'clock or 9:15 for that warning. That's 9:15 for that warning.
So this is probably going to, if anything, some relatively good news. This looks like it will pass just to the north of downtown Jonesville.
Okay.
But if you live north of Jonesville, in between Pennington Gap and Jonesville on
Right,
the
so-
Veteran Memorial Highway,
Yeah,
this is coming towards you.
Yeah, exactly. So Ben-Hur, and then put a track on that real fast for us so we can call out some of these communities that are going to be potentially impacted by this. Kind of do it from the couplet there.
Yep.
That way we can show what some of the communities will be impacted there. So this is till 9:45 for Lee County, Virginia. New tornado warning includes, the polygon at least includes Pennington Gap. I think Cameron's right with the just skirting just to the north of downtown Jonesville, but it's going to be close. 9:02 over that way, and then Collier Mill 9:10, Woodway at 9:14. That's kind of over a little bit south of Pennington Gap there, just a little bit, and then Canton at 9:20. I believe Canton though, and maybe even I think it's just Canton is over in Scott County.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
correct.
So again, Woodway is in Lee County, Jonesville in Lee County, all those other communities in Lee County. So again, this one will skirt to the east, moving 35 miles per hour.
Yep.
35 miles per hour. So if you're in Ben-Hur, between Ben-Hur and Jonesville on the Veterans Memorial Parkway, you need to get into a safe spot right now. Downstairs, basement is best, under something sturdy, lowest level of your home. Put as much between you and the outside as possible. Again, windowless area if you can, bathtubs. Cameron mentioned that. We have not mentioned it all night. Helmets. If you've got a helmet, put it on, because if there is a tornado touchdown, and there has not been a confirmed touchdown yet, it will protect your head. Because here, like I tell kids at school all the time, what do you do during tornado drills? You cover your head, because without your brain, the rest of your body will not function. So anything you can do to protect your head and your brain, the best thing you can do. Okay.
I'm kind of surprised we could see this so well so far away, because
Yeah.
we're getting really far away from Jackson and Morristown's radar. So
Yeah, 'cause
but it's
Morristown's-
still very well defined.
Yeah, Morristown's way down there, and then that just goes to show you this is why we're keeping with this storm, because, and of course Jackson's well to the north, Morristown's to the south, and both of these trying to pick up on this very well.
A few more smaller streets, Brandon. Campground Road over towards Park Henry Drive, Paul Dean Farm Road, Cabin View Drive, any of these areas that sound familiar, Spivey Drive, Fleenertown Road over towards Dale Eldridge Road. Any of these roads are in the direct path of this supercell storm.
Okay, so this is a community here Uncanita, I hope I said that right. Lee County folks, I'm sorry if I didn't. I'd never seen that one pop up on the map. Fleenertown, you guys are in the path of this. Ben-Hur eventually if it holds together. So Hockett, you're right in the middle of it. Very electrical storm. Right here, kind of the area where the greens and the reds kind of mix together. We're still kind of watching there. It will skirt in between Hockett, Uncanita, and Fleenertown. So it's going to come right through here over maybe even just south of Ben-Hur, just a little bit to the north of Jonesville, but still being your tornado safe spots for both of those communities because you're both included in the polygon. I do believe unless this northern cell redevelops a little bit, Pennington Gap may miss this one. Okay, so again, even though you're in the polygon, I think the worst of it is to your south.
Looks like
there.
it may split the difference between Pennington Gap and Jonesville.
Yeah, exactly, because you got a couple of inflow notches here too that kind of will skirt between Ben-Hur and Pennington Gap on this end, and then down here between Jonesville and Ben-Hur on this end. So we're keeping an eye on that. New tornado warning goes out until 9:45 for Lee County. They include any other counties in that, or just Lee County? Okay, so just Lee County, and we'll continue that. If this holds together, Scott County, I know that's not in our coverage area, but you see Duffield's out there heading back over toward Tri-Cities Market. But again, we'll continue to watch that there. And you'll see Jonesville, it's basically almost on top of you. 902, 906 for Sulphur Springs, Collier Mill there at 910, Dryden and Lee County at 921, and Pattonsville, I believe that might be in Scott County too at 927. So this is heading kind of east there for the most part there, so it's going to scoot maybe right between Jonesville and Ben-Hur there as we head into the 9 o'clock hour. And speaking of which, it is 9 o'clock. I'm Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson. You're watching live coverage of tornado warning severe weather outbreak here on WYMT TV in Hazard, Kentucky. I'm joined by meteorologists Cameron Aaron and Evan Hatter there, and we have a potential new development. Anything?
They've just continued that warning for Harlan County, the severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, so they continue the severe thunderstorm warning. We're just across 9 o'clock, and we'll be at this for a little while longer.
So just a small sliver of southeastern Harlan.
Okay, so they've cut Everett's back out of that, and they've cut Kaywood out of that one. So this is basically right there, kind of right along the border.
Yeah,
so
Cranks.
Yeah, so Cranks, and then right along the, here's the border. There's the 421 going from Kaywood into Lee County, Virginia. There is some other communities up here in Harlan County. 38 might still be included. I saw the Disney community up there. I can still see that. I can still see that right there, especially if you're heading into Lee County from 421 north of Uncanita or Okanita there. So just be aware of that as you head over that way. Lots of lightning in that storm, so you need to be in a safe spot. Jonesville, this may just pass you. It may just pass you. So we're going to keep an eye on that one for you too.
Also continuing the tornado warning for Harlan County.
Okay, until 9:15?
9:15, yep.
Okay, so that continues there until 9:15. Very southern parts of basically right there riding along the border. So that includes US 421 if you're past Kaywood going toward the border there, and we'll continue to see that. Now there is a severe thunderstorm warning just to the north of that would be included, or it would push into St. Charles there at some point over in Lee County. Several larger communities in Lee County that could be impacted by this as it heads through there. Or is there a tornado warning area up there for St. Charles? They look like they're in a polygon.
Not included.
Okay, so that's just south of that.
Yes.
But again, yeah, okay, it comes right up to the border with the severe thunderstorm warning and the
trees down in the Putney area. Putney
area.
On Highway 522.
Okay, so there's got a report of trees down in Putney on Highway 522. This is north of these cells. But again, that just goes to show you that these cells mean business. Okay,
so here's just a question to both of you. We got this kind of hook echo just to the north and west of Jonesville, but the velocity couplet is more to the north, kind of near Ben-Hur. So we're kind of getting a little bit of displacement there, maybe because of the distance.
I'd say because we're between those two radars, if I had to guess. They're kind of overlapping. Would you agree, Evan?
Yeah, that's possible. I'm looking at let me check the height. I've got radar scope over here.
Also, while you're doing that, Evan, we just got a new SPC update, so let's pull that in.
Okay, let's check that out. Okay, so that's interesting that they've kept Middlesboro, but they may be. We got
that second line coming through.
Yeah, we had a discussion earlier about that was potential there for those areas that we could see some more severe development in the next little bit. We still have this line back out to the west too, so put that into motion for you for the last few hours real quick. We'll go back to that tornado warning in a second. Yeah, I can see that because it's been dry out that way for a little bit, so I can see why they kept that level 3 into place there for parts of southern and southeastern Kentucky.
Kind of follow that sail too in Lee County, Brandon, all the way back into Campbell County.
Yeah, so here we go. So basically,
started just to the west of La Follette,
yeah,
and it kept going and kept going.
Literally just keeps right on coming, and that's the same one that's going through Lee County right now. So we're continuing to watch that as we go through tonight. And again, very long evening here. We're continuing to track this. All three of us are here, keeping you up to date, keeping you informed, keeping your family safe. And again, we're tracking this one right there is kind of the area. Now, this one is going to be skirting.
It's
basically
very close
between Pennington Gap and Jonesville. So Ben-Hur is right in the middle of both of those. So you guys, if you're not in your safe spot already, you need to get there quickly.
On top of Fleenertown right now.
Exactly. So right there, this area, basically right here in the middle of that kind of hook shape is the area we're concerned about there. So this is Veterans Memorial Parkway going between Jonesville and Pennington Gap. So if you're in between either one of those communities, get off the road, get into a house, knock on somebody's door if you have to, especially if they don't live in a trailer. Knock on their door, but hey, can I come in for just a few minutes till the storm passes? I'm sure they won't mind. Again, just be very careful out there tonight because it is a very dangerous situation. This storm has ebbed and flowed all the way from basically Claiborne County, Campbell County, Tennessee, went through Bell County, died down for a little bit. Now it's redeveloped again and impacting our neighbors over in Southwest Virginia. So.
It's about to cross US 58 just to the north of Jonesville and then really kind of following Miller's Chapel Road. Okay. So if you live along Miller's Chapel Road from Jonesville over towards Collier Mill, you need to be in your safe place immediately. Okay,
so there you go. So we're calling out communities as we see them. Again, we're in between radars, so it might look a little bit messy. At times there, it's kind of between Jackson and Morristown, so we're switching back and forth to try to give you the best look here at the velocity couplets. So again, we have not seen, and we probably will not see if anything touches down because we're in an area that's kind of in the radar dead spot between those two, and debris is very messy. So again, you saw that there. If you do have a tornado touchdown, please let us know as soon as it's safe, okay? Don't call in while the tornado's going on and be like, I got a tornado here. As soon as it is safe for you to do so, once the storm passes, get your reports to us here at WYMT because we can pass those along to the Weather Service office at Morristown, Jackson, whoever needs to get those depending on what county you're in, okay?
This rotation is passing US 58 near the Lee County Animal Hospital. If you know where that is, just to the north of Jonesville, that's where this rotation is.
Probably right
just
in
to the
here
north.
Somewhere. Yeah, right in there. But that is so is 58 is Veterans Memorial Parkway also 58?
US 58.
Okay, so it veers. Okay, so you've got two different versions. This may be Business 58 or something, but that okay. All right, I'm with you now. All right. So again, if you're on Veterans Memorial Parkway between Jonesville and Pennington Gap, you need to pull off. You need to find a safe spot. You need to get out. Okay, you need to be very aware that this storm at the National Weather Service in Morristown called it a very potent, powerful supercell that has some well-defined rotation. Okay, so you have to really pay attention to that wording there because when a Weather Service officer kind of gives you that indication, that means it's a strong storm. Okay, doesn't mean we've had a tornado touchdown, but we're in an area that is not. It's not
been worked over.
Right, that and the fact that it's in bad radar coverage. That's what I was looking for. So we're between two radars. We're between Jackson, we're between Morristown there. So again, little tracker on there for you, 912 Collier Mill. You got about 5 minutes to get into your safe spot. Woodway over there, about 916. Stickleyville, I believe that is in Scott County, passing out of Lee County.
That's extreme eastern Lee County.
Okay, so my apologies on that. Extreme eastern Lee County. I know Duffield is in Scott County.
Yes.
If this storm holds together all the way to Duffield, I think Fraleytown is up there too. We're going to be a situation that this is going to be a long-lasting storm. But again, tornado warning continues till 9:45 for this cell at Pennington Gap. So that heavier band of rain is approaching you now. Jonesville, it looks like you just missed the worst of it. Of course, the north side of town, as Cameron was saying, near the animal hospital, could be seeing some strong winds up that way. Ben-Hur, it's on top of you right now over there in that community. You got Woodway here. You got Dryden up your Pews, Collier Mill. Some of those communities we'll call out. Those are kind of in the area that's going to be impacted from this storm.
They can also see the wall cloud from Harlan County from this storm still. So that's what we got from the National Weather Service chat.
So is there any update on the Harlan County tornado warning?
It looks like they're going to let that one go at 9:15.
Okay.
That's about 7 minutes from now, but most of the rotation, as we've been talking about, in fact, most of the storm is now out of Harlan County.
Right.
Just some rain elsewhere in Harlan County, maybe some rumbles of thunder up toward downtown Harlan, toward Wallens, South Wallens, places like that. So this is mostly a Lee County storm now, but still got a few minutes on the tornado warning in southern Harlan.
Looks like radar coverage just went out. I'm not sure what the issue is.
Okay.
But we're not getting radar data at the moment.
Okay.
Is Max 1 working or Max 2?
Let me see.
Okay. So while we're doing that, let's go get satellite radar going maybe.
Let's see.
See if it'll give us satellite radar.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
just not
yeah.
great.
So let's take it back a few hours. Let's kind of zoom out to the regional view while we see if we can get that working there, and kind of give you a time lapse of what's happened today. Okay. We've been in severe weather coverage off and on throughout the afternoon. So let's take it back 6 hours. And just kind of see exactly what's been happening here since it's 9:09 right now. Let's take it back about 6. You're okay. About 6 hours there, and we can kind of show you the progression of these storms. So they have rolled in. They've come in waves. Pulaski kind of got hit hard, tennis ball size hail.
It's going to continue the warning for Lee County.
Okay, so while we're working on getting radar back up, so again, they came through Pulaski County. They came through again. I-75 corridor. They weren't severe when they came through I-75. Couple of warnings out there for some folks, McCreary, Whitley, and Wayne out there a little bit, and then they kind of died off for a little bit. Then we got some new warnings as they come through Bell and Harlan counties. We've been tracking storms out of East Tennessee for quite some time. Those came into parts of Southwest Virginia. They died off for a little bit. They come back into play once they got back into Bell and Harlan counties. So again, we've been tracking this system. It's a very dynamic system throughout the day ahead of a big time cold front that's going to swing through a little bit later on tonight. Do we need to switch to Max 2?
I don't think so. I think we just had a hiccup there with the Morristown radar. I think they're back up because I lost data on Max 2 as well for a second, but it came back.
Okay.
So I think
I think we're good.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's
zoom
switch back
in.
over. Okay, so we got this tornado warning in Lee County, Virginia that goes until 9:45. It looks like, you back on Morristown yet?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It's not. There it goes.
Okay. So it looks to me like the couplet has started to kind of fall apart just a little bit. It's still kind of broad. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, guys?
It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there, but I think it's a little bit more broad than
yeah.
it was. So it may be it's getting into a nighttime atmosphere, getting into a stabilizing atmosphere. So we're going to kind of keep an eye on this, okay? But
Looks like we're getting a better look at it from reflectivity than velocity.
Okay. So yeah, anywhere you see like these, it's part of it's past Ben-Hur. Coming up on Pennington Gap, anywhere you see these little notches, we call those inflow notches. That means there's strong winds on that. Again, there's a pretty good band of heavy rain just to the north of Jonesville. Lots of lightning up near St. Charles. Did they just clear Jonesville out of the tornado warning?
Yes.
Okay. So that just, Jonesville, you're out. So you're cleared from the tornado warning. So Pennington Gap, you're still in. Ben-Hur, you're still in. Over toward eastern Lee County, Pewes, Woodway, Collier Mill, all you guys are still in. So again, 421 as you're coming between St. Charles and over toward Pennington Gap. Some areas there. Okay, so it's getting a little bit more broad.
On top of Ben-Hur at this point.
It's getting a little bit more broad, but Ben-Hur, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Pennington Gap, we're giving you the heads up that you need to be in your safe spot.
Canceled the warning for Harlan.
Okay, so the warning in Harlan is gone. Harlan County, you are clear from the tornado warning. Okay,
and every warning, I believe, the severe thunderstorm warning also allowed to expire.
Okay, so you are clear from all warnings. We're all in Lee County, Virginia now.
I will say on radar scope, this circulation is very close to Pennington Gap.
Okay.
I don't know if you agree with that, Evan, but on here, we're kind of well off to the west.
Yeah, it's a very interesting...
So is it a little closer like this way on radar scope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So radar scope has got this basically on top of Pennington Gap. It's about a mile and a half away.
Can you, okay, I was going to say circle. Yeah, that's perfect. So again, Pennington Gap, we've been giving you the warning all night. So you're still under that tornado warning until 9:45, which is a little bit more than 30 minutes away. So be aware of that. And if you live east of Pennington Gap, you need to be taking your tornado precautions. You need to be in your safe spots. Again, downstairs, basement is best. Under something sturdy, put as much between you and the outside as possible. Make sure you're taking all those precautions. And again, just helmets. Helmets are a big thing, key to protect your brain out there. So again, this might be a little bit of a displacement between where the velocity actually is and where it should be.
I think we're having some radar latency issues with, and I'm not sure if it's the Weather Service's end or if it's on our vendor's end, but it appears this circulation, if there's going to be anything there, it's going to be closer to Pennington Gap now than Jonesville and Ben-Hur.
Okay, so it's everything's kind of more shifted to the east at this point. So again, unfortunately, we're not able to show it to you live on the air with that, but according to what you guys are telling me, that it's more toward Pennington Gap and Collier's Mill, or Collier Mill, than it is back toward Ben-Hur and Jonesville.
It's really more toward Pennington Gap, it looks like, than anything else. Yeah. Really more north of Collier Mill at this point. So
I tell you what, let's try this. Let's try to do satellite radar 3-hour loop and see if we can get caught up just a little bit. Hopefully, maybe that's a little. Is that a little bit more?
It is, but it's just not. It's hard to see
exactly
what we're looking at.
Okay, so gives you a better picture of like where the heavier bands of rain and things are. So let's put a 3-hour loop on that just to kind of see where it's been, where it's going, and we can kind of give you an indication on that. Of course, you can tell by the polygon that it's heading toward eastern Lee County. But you see here the bulk of that, especially where it's kind of curving just a little bit, and it's just basically south of downtown Pennington Gap. We're taking some power hits here at the station. So we're going to continue to watch that, and it'll scoot kind of this way. So it'll probably be out of the polygon here in a little bit if they do not let that warning go any further.
It's taking a little bit of a northeasterly jog.
So it's kind of tracking kind of more toward Dryden, potentially?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're the Dryden area. This is your cue to get into your tornado safe spot right now. Okay, if you're traveling anywhere, let's see, is that Highway 58 goes back up toward Dryden?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're along Highway 58 between Pennington Gap and Dryden, pull over, get to a safe spot. If you're in the Pews area, Woodway, those areas are still in the polygon, but as Cameron has said, this looks to be jogging a little bit off to the north and east. So Dryden for sure. If you live, is there any other roads and communities that they've put out in the new update with the tornado warning that could be impacted with that?
No.
Not recently?
No.
Okay, so basically 58, if you live north or south of 58, right there along the Dryden community, safe spot right now. Okay, you still got a few minutes, but not a whole lot of time. Basement is best. All right, just remember that trailers, cars, no good. Get out, try to find a stable spot somewhere else out there to continue to ride this storm out. Now, hopefully, this will move out of our coverage area here in a little bit. Once it gets to the Lee County line, we will stop tracking it, and hopefully, that'll be it for us tonight. The atmosphere has been worked over a lot, and again, I know we're covering up some programming there on CBS.
We just got an update for the watch. I can pull that up real quick.
Okay, go ahead and pull that up.
All right, well, essentially, while he's pulling that up, I can just go ahead. The western counties have been taken out. So folks in Somerset, in Frenchburg, up to Mount Vernon and Monticello have been removed from this watch.
Okay.
Still continues until 11 o'clock for everybody else.
Okay.
In yellow, not everybody on the map.
Right. So again, of course, we've got the tornado warning in Lee County. That is the only active warning. But go back here just a second, Cameron, before you move too far back over there. Let's look at this line. Let's get a little closer into this line here because
that actually does take in western parts of Campbell County, just like we were watching with that tornado warning about 3 hours ago.
So let's watch this. Matter of fact, leave the radar on for a second. But again, you see all these little notches that's bowing out segments? That's probably some pretty strong wind, even though they're not warned right now. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. Maybe just a touch.
Have to watch out for any of these little kinks.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just kind of keeping an eye on that for you as we head into the evening hours. Some broad rotation up toward Corbin, London. It's not even really anything worth writing home about. No active warnings, but that's a pretty stout line of storms, basically going between Corbin and basically the Tennessee border. Lots of lightning in there too.
Track this out a little bit too.
Yeah, let's put a track on that route fast till we get some more information.
New severe thunderstorm warning for Campbell and Claiborne.
Okay.
That goes until 10:15. That's for that 60-mile-per-hour wind potential with that storm.
But no tornado possible.
No tornado
Okay,
possible. In
perfect.
fact, the hail is subsevere as well.
Okay, so there we go. So new severe thunderstorm warning until 10 for Campbell and Claiborne counties in East Tennessee. But this line up here, not warned, just kind of wanted to give you an idea because I guarantee you some of the folks on the Facebook Live are asking about specific communities. The thing I can tell you right now, if we're not talking about you, you're okay, all right? So even when we're talking about these folks, you're not under any kind of warning, but you see some of the bigger communities on here. Williamsburg, about 923, just a few minutes away, over towards Siler. That's in Whitley County. About 941, Barberville 948, Middlesboro 1005, Pineville at 1005 as well. So again, these are kind of moving to the east. What speed on those?
Around 35.
About 35 miles per hour. So again, still some more rain out there to track through.
Looks like the radar has caught up.
Okay,
thankfully.
perfect. So let's go back to this tornado warning that goes until 9:45. This is for Lee County, Virginia. And right now, outside of those severe thunderstorm warnings in Tennessee, this is the only active warning in our entire area, okay? Nothing in Kentucky at all. So you folks who are watching us on Facebook from Kentucky, nothing in Kentucky at all. All right, this is the only active tornado warning that we still have out there. It is past Pennington Gap. It is approaching Dryden. It is approaching, it's just north of Woodway there, so it's crossing into far eastern Lee County. So we're going to continue to watch that as we head a little bit deeper into the nighttime hours. So again, hopefully this will start to die out some. 58 between Pennington Gap and Dryden, an area of concern anywhere along this notch. Some very electrical conditions there in Woodway right now. Down that way, we're looking at Collier Mill, I'm sorry, over there in Lee County. It's past you for a little bit, at least the worst of it. It's past Ben-Hur for the worst of it. St. Charles up there a little bit north of this polygon. Some electrical activity going on up there, so very vivid lightning show, I'm sure, in St. Charles, which is also in Lee County. But the area of concern right here as we cross into the eastern parts of Lee County.
Yeah, this is close to Woodway, Old Woodway Road, Big Hill Road, Willis Chapel Road, over towards Spears Drive, Ramey Road. If you know any of these places in Lee County, Virginia, this is a tornado warning until 9:45, right?
Yeah.
And that will basically go for the central and eastern parts of Lee County. That is kind of just to the south and east of Pennington Gap now. So if you live in Dryden, if you live in Woodway, if you live in Pewes, you need to be in your safe place immediately. If you live near US 421, if you live near US 58, any of these major highways, be sure to be in your safe place. That's the lowest floor of your home, near the center, away from windows, a hallway, a closet, a bathroom, and also have on a helmet as well. You should not be in a car. You should not be in a mobile home. So if you live in a trailer, if you are driving, you need to pull off at your next exit, go to a gas station, a restaurant, a store, anything like that that offers a better shelter than a car. Let's put on the velocity real quick, and we're still getting a little bit of some displacement here. The velocity is indicating near Dryden, but the hook echo is near Woodway. So really, if you live in Woodway, if you live in Dryden, be in your safe place immediately. This is moving past Pennington Gap, moving, let's see, tornado possible, severe thunderstorm warning for Norton, Lee, and Wise.
Okay.
So that's for this storm. They may just go with a severe thunderstorm warning
All
with
the
a
way
tornado
out.
possible tag.
Yeah. So that includes now, does that include
Sorry
Big
about
Stone
that.
Gap?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That includes Big Stone Gap.
And Norton.
The city of Norton.
And Norton and
Appalachia.
Appalachia. So some of the communities in Wise County under the gun now. So
I believe Wise, too.
yeah.
Wise is kind of in the southern, it's kind of southeast of Norton there.
Nope,
Or
Wise is not in it.
northeast of Norton.
Yeah,
excuse
Wise
me.
is not in it. Wise and Cobra not in it at this point. But again, those are our active alerts, and that warning goes until when?
10:15.
10:15. Okay. So we're going to keep an eye on all this. We're going to keep an
For
eye on things.
60
But,
mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail,
okay. So these are the only two.
which that may be for the northern half of the storm, and they'll wait to see what the southern half does in terms of that circulation.
Right,
With the
exactly.
tornado warning.
Because it's ebbed and flowed all night long, folks. It came through parts of Tennessee, fell apart a little bit, strengthened again. So this is just something we're going to have to watch because this area has not seen a whole lot of action tonight, okay? So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this and continue to keep you posted. But again, a lot of electricity in this storm, lots of lightning strikes, Pennington Gap over there, in the mix of things, Dryden over that way in eastern Lee County. Right here is the Lee County, Scott County line, right there, okay? So
It's
we'll see.
very getting its act together now near Dryden.
Okay,
that
so it's
circulation.
starting to try to get that circulation back together. Cameron, take over just a minute. I've actually lost my IFB, so I'm going to go change my battery out.
Yeah, so like I said, it is starting to tighten back up again near Dryden along US 58. So if you live in Dryden, be in your safe place immediately, even over to Deep Springs in Lee County. You're not in the warning, but this is starting to get its act together once again. So if you live in Dryden, be in your safe place. That's the lowest floor of your home and near the center, away from windows, a hallway, a closet, a bathroom. Have a helmet on, put on a mattress in the bathtub, anything like that they do to protect yourself, just in case your home or your shelter is hit by a tornado. You don't want to be in a car and you don't want to be in a mobile home. Those are the two places you don't want to be. Nobody should be driving on US 58 between Pennington Gap and Dryden, so be sure that you are off the road. Maybe pull off at a gas station, a convenience store, a restaurant, anything like that. But we are looking at some tighter rotation, Evan, near Dryden, and this will continue pushing off to the east. It's almost out of the warning, so I assume they'll kind of take over what they want to do.
And I'm sure the Weather Service in Morristown, you know, this is not the only storm they're covering. They got some storms down toward the Knoxville metro area that they continue to keep an eye on. But this storm continues to work to the east at, what was the speed on that? That was 35 miles per hour, excuse me, as we work through the next little bit. So we're going to continue to watch that. That's going to push toward Deep Springs, which is still down toward, or north and east toward the kind of the spot where Scott County, Virginia, Lee County, Virginia, and Wise County, Virginia all come together over the next little bit. So again, near Dryden is the focus of things right now, and that's going to come down 58 over the next little bit. Yeah, it's almost out of the tornado warning.
Circulation is coming out of the warning. So just a heads up, if you live along US 58 near Deep Springs, near Dryden, be in your safe place. This is Lee County, Virginia. No warnings in Kentucky. If you live in Kentucky, some heavy rainfall, some gusty winds, and maybe some small hail. Nothing severe though at this moment. That could change as we go later on tonight, but right now nothing is severe in Kentucky. But in Virginia, Lee County, Virginia, a tornado warning does continue for portions of Lee County, excuse me, and this will continue pushing off to the east around 35 miles per hour. Evan, can we put on a track for this over the next few minutes and see where this is going to head up? Just a heads up, in eastern Lee County, this will continue pushing off towards the east around 35 miles per hour. If you know anybody in Dryden or Deep Springs, give them a call, give them a text, make sure that they know that there is a tornado warning in place for the next 20 minutes or so. But I do think we should get an update here soon as that circulation is starting to move off to the east. But Deep Springs, 9:31, about 6 minutes or so over towards Jasper, 9:35. Also Orton at 9:40. Don't take these times to the bank. These are estimated, but still, just a heads up. Go ahead and go to your safe place right now. That's the lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. Put on a helmet, be in a hallway, a closet, a bathroom, anything like that. The lowest floor of your home. And again, if you live in a mobile home, go ahead and seek higher shelter or better shelter.
And that tornado warning continues for the city of Norton, Lee and Wise counties.
So new warning. Okay.
So there you see it.
Can we take a look at the
back up here, and we'll go to the.
That's really tightening up right there.
Yes, it is. That's a little concerning there.
On US 58 right now. Nobody should be driving. Look at that hook right there. So there you go.
I'll draw the. Hang on. Where's my draw tool here? We'll kind of show you what the dynamics of the storm are doing at this point. There's Dryden, Virginia. And the inflow is coming into the storm like that, the outflow like that, because the rain is being wrapped around the mesocyclone of the storm as that continues to push to the east, and that's why we now have that tornado warning in effect.
Yep, Big Stone Gap, Norton, you're in this tornado warning, so go ahead and go to your safe place now. Big Stone Gap, is Wise in this tornado warning?
I don't believe so. Okay. So this is going to be just south of Wise, Virginia, the campus of UVA Wise.
Yep.
If anyone is on campus at UVA Wise, just keeping a very close eye out for this particular storm.
Norton, Big Stone Gap, over towards Dryden in Lee County. Can we go ahead and go a little bit tighter, Evan, if you don't mind, as we can take a look at this storm a little bit tighter? You can see, though, that hook is really starting to get its act together right on top of Dryden. US 58, you know, you should not be driving right now on US 58 from Deep Springs over towards Dryden, over towards Ellinger as well. So if you are in any of these areas in eastern Lee County, Virginia, go to your safe place immediately. If you know anybody that may live in the area of Deep Springs, also the area of Dryden, give them a call. Make sure that they know there is a tornado warning in place with a possible tornado. Nothing is set in stone. We have no reports of a tornado on the ground. But we do have some pretty strong rotation near Dryden, near Deep Springs, along US 58 in Lee County, Virginia. So again, go ahead and go to your safe place, and that is the lowest floor of your home near the center and away from windows. No mobile homes and no cars. So be sure that you are exiting those mobile homes and going to a more sturdy shelter, a neighbor's house, a restaurant, a gas station, anything like that offers more shelter than a mobile home and a car. Next up in line, we have Harvey. This is US 23 from Orton down towards Duffield in Scott County, Virginia. And again, if you're in Duffield, that's not our coverage area, but still you're in that warning as well. And this will continue pushing off towards the east and northeast around 35 miles per hour. Evan, do we have that camera over in Wise?
Yes, Josh. If
Okay.
you're in the if you're in studio control, maybe if we can pull up the camera on Max 2. Thank you. I'm not sure if my mic's on, but that is the view right now from the campus of UVA Wise. Mid-60s out there now, and you see some of the lights in the distance. The campus is quiet, as you'd expect for this hour at 9:30ish on a June Sunday. Not a whole lot of activity on the campus. But if you are on the campus of UVA Wise, you're not in this tornado warning, but keep a close eye to your south as this continues to push to the east, really kind of up US 58, and we'll be crossing US 23 there in the southern parts of Wise County, Virginia over the next little bit. It's still in eastern parts of Lee County, but we'll be crossing into Scott and into Wise counties over the next little bit. It also takes in the independent city of Norton as well.
Okay, let's go back to Max 1, Josh, if you don't care. And Evan, do we have maybe a little bit of a bounded weak echo region right here near Dryden?
That's a possibility looking at that further on to the south.
Yeah.
And check the velocity.
So what that means for people at home, this is a very well-defined circulation. When the storm kind of wraps around itself like that, we call that a bounded weak echo region, and that is what we are looking at right here. So some green, that is wind going towards the radar in Morristown, correct? And red, that is wind going away from the radar in Morristown. So here is your counterclockwise rotation from Dryden to Deep Springs. If you live near US 58 between Dryden and Deep Springs, go to your safe place right now. Don't wait on this and don't play around with it. No confirmation right now of a tornado, but again, this could spin up or spin down very quickly. So go ahead and go to your safe place. That does include portions of Wise County as well. If you live in Norton, if you live in Pennington Gap, this also includes you. You are under a tornado warning as well. That 1015 for that warning in Wise County, 1015?
Let me double check.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
So 1015 for that warning in Wise County and also extreme eastern Lee County as well. So just a heads up, go to your safe place in Dryden, also in Deep Springs as well. As this continues pushing off towards the east, it has kind of lost that hook shape there back in the back southwestern flank of that storm, but we'll continue to watch out for that as it pushes off towards the east. Norton, Big Stone Gap, as far north as Appalachia from US 23 down into portions of Lee County and Wise County. This is a tornado warning for you guys until 1015. For Pennington Gap, this is off to the east now, so just you're all clear for that one. I meant to say Big Stone Gap, not Pennington Gap for that one. So just a heads up, in Big Stone Gap, Appalachia, Norton, Dryden, you guys under the gun for a possible tornado. Nothing is confirmed. And Evan, can we take a look at the correlation coefficient just to see if we have anything? I doubt it because we're so far away from the radar, but yeah, nothing really. It's very noisy out there right now, so we are going to continue to watch out for that.
And one thing we got to understand too is radar, you see the radar sweep go by on the screen, you just saw it go by, and you think it's moving through. We've removed Lee County from the first tornado warning has been allowed to expire. So Pennington Gap, just as he was saying, all cleared there. But the radar beam shoots up and out. You see the little the sweep go by. It's not on the surface. We're having to look up from a certain point, and looking at this radar from this distance, we are about, looking at this circulation, we're about 52 miles away from the radar, which is at Morristown, Tennessee, and we're looking about 3,700 feet in the sky. So it's not to say that we haven't had something that's maybe touched down, lofted some trees or something, but nothing to that height of 3,700 feet. But not seeing anything at 3,700 feet tells me this is not a large, if anything, this is not a large circulation or a large anything that's touched down. Anything that's likely to touch down with this is going to be brief. But if it happens to touch down in your neighborhood or on top of your house, that could cause problems. And the good news, though, is this does appear to be wrapping up just a little bit. You see the we've lost that hook. It's almost like it's cycling again. And as we look at the velocity, it's gotten much more broad east of Dryden.
Good news there. But yeah, like Evan mentioned, this is a cyclic storm. It started over in eastern Tennessee, Campbell, Claiborne counties. It kind of weakened, moved into Bell County, then it strengthened again and came through Harlan County and then Lee County. And now it is exiting Lee County and moving into southern Wise County, also Scott County, Virginia. So this will continue to be a storm that we have to watch out for the next few minutes as it continues pushing off towards the east around 35 miles per hour. Just a heads up in Dryden, just a heads up in Deep Springs, a Big Stone Gap, over to the city of Norton. Norton's right here. You need to be in your safe place as this is a tornado warning until 10:15 tonight, and we are going to watch out for that as we get closer to the 10 o'clock hour. Right now, though, the circulation is just to the east of Dryden right here. Those greens, winds going towards the radar, reds, winds going away from the radar. So here is your circulation. Very close to US 58 right now. So again, be sure that you are not driving on US 58 from Dryden over to the Wise County border. And if you know anybody that may be driving, give them a heads up and give them a call to make sure that they are off the road. Go ahead and pull off at the next gas station, the next convenience store, the next restaurant, as that offers more shelter than a car during a tornado warning. Also, don't want to be in a mobile home or a trailer. You need to go to a more substantial shelter during this tornado warned storm. So Evan, do we have anything to add from the National Weather Service?
Looks like we just canceled a severe thunderstorm warning that took in part of Campbell County in Tennessee. So they've been under the gun.
Speaking of that line, can we
quite a while.
Bit of a reset?
Yeah, that's exactly, you read my mind. That's exactly where I was going. Let's go back to the home view and you can see what we're dealing with. Still watching a little hefty line of storms, really from about Slade all the way down through Beattyville into portions of Booneville at this point. It's kind of built its way off to the north. The heaviest part of this, though, is along and south of Interstate 70, or excuse me, it's actually just east of Interstate 75 and south of the Highway 80 Hal Rogers Parkway corridor. So it's moved through Corbin, it's headed toward Manchester, Barberville over the next little bit, and over toward Williamsburg. These are not severe, at least in Kentucky. Parts of East Tennessee, actually, was the warning that was out for this line before. So La Follette's getting a pretty good hefty dose of some heavy rain at this point. I'm going to double check with the Jackson chat to make sure we've got a speed on this before we draw a track on it, but I believe this was moving east about 35 miles per hour into portions of the heaviest of this into parts of Laurel, and now pushing into Clay and into Knox counties, pushing through Whitley County as well. Some heavy rain on top of downtown Middlesboro as well. That is not severe either, but pushing this to the east about 35 miles per hour. This is not severe, but the potential there for 30 to 40 mile per hour winds toward places like Bush, within the next 5 minutes or so. Girdler by about 9:46. Barberville, if it holds together, right on top of you about 9:47. Manchester by about 9:53. Over toward Middlesboro, being affected by a storm right now. You've got this heavier line headed your way by about the 10 o'clock hour. Over toward Moselle by 10:25. And if it holds together, South Wallens by 10:30. But this area, you see that amount of rain ahead of this is helping stabilize the atmosphere a little bit. So we're going to continue to see that kind of pushing through the region. But the main focus so far has been across with that single cell that has just pushed across northern East Tennessee and now pushing through southwest Virginia, Cameron.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go back to that tornado warning storm over portions of Lee County and Wise County in Virginia. So here we go. Maybe a little bit of a better hook here near just to the east of Dryden along Highway 58 there. This is Highway 23 from Big Stone Gap down towards Duffield. This is Lee County, Virginia. This is Wise County, Virginia. Big Stone Gap, you are in this tornado warning storm. And again, here is your rotation right here. It's not as well defined as it was about 10 to 15 minutes ago. We had this circulation pretty well defined over portions of Harlan County into Lee County, but now it is starting to fall apart a little bit. But still, take it seriously and be sure that you are in your safe place if you live near Dryden, over far eastern Lee County, Virginia, and far southern Wise County, Virginia. From Big Stone Gap along Highway 58 to Dryden, be in your safe place immediately, as this will continue pushing off towards the east. Can we go a little bit tighter, maybe show some smaller communities over portions of eastern Lee County?
If I can remember how to zoom, Cameron, I will do that for you. 1 second.
No problem. All right, so here's your inflow notch right here. So it's right on top of Deep Springs. If you're in Jasper along US 23, be in your safe place immediately. Again, there's your inflow notch right here. The circulation right on top of Deep Springs along US 58. Nobody should be driving on US 58. If you know anybody driving in Wise or Lee County, Virginia, from let's say Big Stone Gap to Dryden, tell them to get off the road over at the next gas station or restaurant or convenience store, because a car is the last place you want to be, along with a mobile home, in a tornado-warned storm. So Jasper, Deep Springs, Olinger, over towards Orton and up to a Big Stone Gap in Wise County. Be sure that you are in your safe place immediately, as this is a tornado-warned storm. Nothing confirmed, but again, it doesn't take long for these things to spin up or spin down, especially when we're not looking at those long track tornadoes, but we're looking at those quick spin-up tornadoes, and that will continue to watch out for that through the rest of the next few minutes or so. So Harvey, Jasper, Orton, if you know any of these places in eastern Lee County over into Wise County, Virginia, you need to be in your safe place. Now, the good news, this will continue pushing off to the east out of our coverage area. So once this storm passes, I do think this will be the last tornado warning of the day. Fingers crossed. I do think that will be it. We could see possibly some strong winds as that next batch of storms rolls through, but in terms of rotation, I do think this will be the last one of the day. So as this continues pushing off to the east, just a heads up in Verde, hope I'm saying that right, 958 or 950, 955 in Duncan Mill, over towards Wood at 1005. These are places in Scott County, Virginia. So again, these are out of our coverage area, but this tornado-warned storm does last until 10:15 this evening for some possible rotation near the Lee and Wise County borders over portions of eastern Lee County and far southern Wise County as well. Evan?
Well, that's right, Cameron. No new updates from the National Weather Service out of Morristown at this point. This continues to push to the east at about 25 miles per hour. We'll shortly be exiting the viewing area, and once we kind of get this cell finally out of the area, we'll get you back to regularly scheduled programming. I know a lot of folks anticipating that, but while we wait for an update on the tornado warning, a quick update on the line of storms we're now seeing from basically now Frenchburg all the way down to the state line, basically moving toward Campton, moving toward Boonville right now, Sturgeon, Cow Creek, portions of Owsley County into portions of Clay County, right on top of downtown Manchester. Further to the south, Barberville now, southeastern parts of Whitley County, and over toward Middlesboro. That's a little cell out of the head of the line there. None of that is severe. And east of that, we're just dealing with some plain old rain from Painesville to Prestonsburg to Pikeville down to Jenkins and Whitesburg, back to Hazard. The rain kind of tapers off a little bit, back to Harlan, same thing. But still a severe threat there until this line finally works on through. We just have to watch out outside of the threat for a spin-up tornado or damaging winds. We also have to watch out for some of those storms training over the same areas. That could lead to some flash flooding. But here's the thing. When it comes to the flooding potential there, we now do have a severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Bell, Knox, and Whitley counties as that continues to push to the east.
Is that tornado possible?
No, just a regular tornado warning. Not much hail with this, or excuse me, severe thunderstorm warning, excuse me. It's been a long evening here at WYMT, but this continues until 10:15 now for Bell County, Knox County, and southeastern Whitley County. So that doesn't include Williamsburg, but it does include Barberville and Middlesboro. So some gusty winds and heavy rain as that moves through. But to be honest, we do need some rain out there where we've entered into that moderate drought in parts of the Cumberland Valley. So we do need that rain out there. So hopefully getting some beneficial drops in the bucket out there.
Before we go back to this, can we take a look at that severe thunderstorm warning real quick, just to give a heads up to everybody? Can we turn maybe the radar off and show the polygon to show who's in and who's out of that?
Hold on, let me get back to the Jackson view here. Come on. All right, we'll turn the radar off and we'll show you who's
basically
in and who's
all
out.
of Bell County.
Yeah, in fact, the exact outline of Bell County, as a matter of fact. We'll put the stats on there so you can see it. This is not a hailer. This is more of a gusty wind type event with about 28,800 people in the warning.
Okay, so Middlesboro, Pineville, Barberville, you're included in that severe thunderstorm warning for strong straight line winds. No rotation that we are looking at right now, but heavy rainfall, maybe some small hail, but the gusty winds, that's the big story with this warning over portions of far eastern Whitley, much of Knox, and also all of Bell County until 10:15 tonight. So there's that warning there. Okay, we can go.
And that is moving to the east at, let me double check, and we'll put a track on this. That is moving to the east, so we'll turn the radar back on at about, make sure I've got it here. This is moving to the east at 55 miles per hour, so this one's picked up some speed. So we'll back on out and show you where this is going over the next hour or so as that continues to push to the east at 55. We'll do, based on speed, 55 miles an hour. And we'll track this even parts that are not under the warning back toward Manchester and pushing down to the Tennessee line. So we'll track this out for about the next hour. So folks that are already under the gun with the tornado warning there in far southern parts of Wise County and into the eastern parts of Lee County, still under the threat for this one. So Girdler, basically on top of you right now. Some gusty winds and heavy rain a possibility. Middlesboro within about 10 minutes or so. TJ by 10:01 there in parts of Bell County. And eventually, if this holds together, at least the northern part that's not warned could be moving back into the hazard area. We've seen some thunderstorms here today, nothing severe so far. Harlan by about 10:14, so within a half hour, and then further on into parts of southeast Kentucky and southwest Virginia throughout the next hour or so as that continues to move to the east. So we've gotten no reports of any strong to severe or any reports of severe weather out of that particular line segment of storms yet, but the possibility will be there for winds to 60 miles per hour as that continues to push to the east. Cameron.
Alrighty, let's go back to that tornado warning storm over portions of Lee and Wise counties in Virginia. That's why we're on the TV right now. We do have a tornado warning in place for portions of Lee County, also Wise County, also the city of Norton as well. Now the good news, this has really fallen apart. Is that really because of the poor radar coverage or just because of the storms falling apart? That's the million-dollar question.
And we see as well, we're not seeing some of that deep rotation high up into the cloud. We're about 3,500 to 4,000 feet as that crosses near Orton into the southern parts of Wise County. So we're really starting to see that diminish over the next few minutes or so. Or we have seen it diminish.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't mean it can't crank back up, but still something to watch. And you see we still have that little inflow notch there.
Yeah.
That's moved into Scott County, Virginia, just outside of the area, but still something to
looks like it may kind of skirt the Lee County, Scott County line. So this may stay just to the south of Big Stone Gap. So that's some good news there. If you live in Big Stone Gap, though, just be sure that you are still in your safe place, the lowest floor near the center and away from windows. Nobody should be driving on US 23 from Big Stone Gap down to Duffield until this storm passes. Were you about to say something?
No, I was just going to check the velocity again really quickly and see if that updated as well. Let's actually get the correct button there, and you can see it's there, but it's very broad.
Right here. So really we're Scott County, Lee County, Wise County, where they all come together near Orton, near US 23. That is where we are looking at the possibility for a little bit of rotation. But again, like we just talked about, it's not as strong, it's not as well defined as it was about 30 to 45 minutes ago. We've been tracking this cell since it came out of Bell and Harlan County. So this has really covered some ground over the past hour or so here over far southeastern Kentucky, also southwestern Virginia. The good news, though, this will be continuing to push out of our region as we go over the next few minutes. Again, almost out of Lee County, coming into far southern Wise County, really near the Wise and Scott County line in southwest Virginia, mainly south of Big Stone Gap, also just to the south of US 23 there. If you know anybody that may live in southern Wise County near the Scott County line, give them a call, give them a heads up that there is a tornado warning in place until 10:15 this evening. So just go ahead and go to your safe place if you live from Big Stone Gap down towards Orton and far southern Wise counties. So Evan, any new updates from the Weather Service?
No, looks like they're canceling a warning down toward the Knoxville area. So this continues for at least a little while longer. And you're going to check out another view of that storm up from the Jackson radar. At this point, apparently the circulation looking a little better coming from Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
And there it is in southern, this is just south. Oh, it's switched back to Morristown. Hang on.
Be in this area,
Let me switch that back to the correct, to the Jackson radar at this point. Yeah. And you continue to see that stronger circulation pushing now into Scott County, Virginia, which is just outside the area.
Yeah, kind of straddling the Scott County, Wise County line. So again, Orton, Irondale, south of Big Stone Gap. This is your circulation. Green, that is winds going towards Jackson, Kentucky. Red, that is wind going away from Jackson, Kentucky. So again, here is your counterclockwise rotation, and this will continue pushing off towards the east around 35 miles per hour. So again, if you live in Verdi or Verdi over in Scott County, Orton in Lee or Wise County, also over toward Irondale and Wise County. If you live along US 23 from Irondale down towards Harvey, you need to be in your safe place as this continues pushing off towards the east.
There's the latest scan.
Yeah, it's really getting its act together. Once again, this is a cyclic sail. It cycles up, it cycles down, it cycles up again. So this is what we're watching out for. The good news for us, it is moving out of Lee County, but still, just a heads up, if you live in southern Wise County, stay sheltered if you live near the Wise and Scott County border for the next few minutes as this continues pushing off towards the east around 35 miles per hour. So again, there is that new tornado warning. Looks like they just updated that.
Yeah, that will continue for very far.
I think your mic might be off.
Yeah, I did that again.
There you go.
Very far eastern Lee into Scott, which is outside the viewing area, and along with Wise in the city of Norton. But it looks like the heaviest part of that circulation is going to be south of the Wise County line.
Okay. All right, so we'll continue to watch out for this for the next few minutes. Again, if you live near the Wise and Scott County border, this is your tornado warned storm. And if you live in Irondale, if you live in Orton, if you know any of these places in southern Wise County, go to your safe place immediately. That's the lowest floor of your home, near the center and away from windows. You should not be driving on any of these roads near the Scott and Wise County border. You should also not be in a mobile home if you live near Scott and the Wise County line, because a tornado warning is not the place you want to be in a car or a mobile home. Evan, can we go a little bit tighter, maybe see any of these smaller areas in Scott County and the Wise County border? It looks like we are not looking at anything.
Not a whole lot there.
Yeah, so a sparsely populated part of the country here, so but we'll continue to watch out for this as we go over the next few minutes or so. But the good news, this is moving out of the region, out of our viewing area. We'll pass this along to the Evan, who covers Scott County?
That's going to be our friends down in Bristol and Tri-Cities
I just knew you would know.
area. Of course.
I just knew it.
That'll be our friends down that way. So,
kind of watch out for, you see where Wise County kind of dips here? This could kind of make a run towards that southern extent of Wise County. So just a heads up, if you live in that little dip of Wise County, this is well south of Big Stone Gap, well south of Norton. Norton, Big Stone Gap, you're in the warning technically, but this will stay, I feel confident in saying this will stay south of Big Stone Gap and Norton, well south of Wise if you live, or if you're on the campus of UVA Wise, well south of you guys. But if you live in this little dip here of Wise County, just a heads up, go to your safe place. This is rotation. This is nothing confirmed, but a possible tornado cannot be ruled out. And there's your newest scan, and still showing some pretty good rotation, Evan, just to the south and east of Orton, just to the northwest of Verdi or Verdi. And this will continue skirting along that Scott and Wise County line. So it just won't leave us alone.
Absolutely not. We've been following this storm for a while, so we're going to continue to see those skirt through parts of Scott County, and that'll finally get that out of our viewing area here before too long. Norton is in, just to kind of clarify here, they've scaled that warning back a little. Norton is in the warning. Appalachia is not in the warning, and Big Stone Gap is in the warning, but I think the strongest area of rotation is going to stay south of both of those locations.
This is Wise County too, right?
Yes,
so
toward Coburn.
Just a heads up, if this pushes northeast, we could see portions of eastern Wise County. So we'll keep an eye on it as we get closer, as this continues pushing off towards the north and east. It may kind of skirt off to the east, but we've seen this storm kind of make a left turn and a right turn every so often. So we'll keep a close eye on it as we get closer.
And we'll continue to watch that over the next little bit. A quick update on our warning here in Kentucky. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning into portions of now just Knox and Bell County. Whitley County has been removed from this warning, but over toward Pineville and Middlesboro, as we continue to see the next little bit, that'll continue to push off to the east. This looks to be now east of downtown Barberville, so that is good news. And going back a couple hours now, 2 or 3 hours, just got a report in of half-dollar size hail earlier near Elk Valley in Campbell County, Tennessee. So these storms were they were stronger earlier. We're starting to see some of those start to fall apart a little bit now as we go through. We're past sunset. We're getting toward the part of the evening where we start to lose the instability in the atmosphere, but still one storm we're watching out for there into southern parts of Wise County. And we'll switch the radar over to Jackson. They've got a pretty good view of this as well as that continues into the northern parts of Scott County, Virginia, and that's going to push very close to that line right there south of Cracker Neck.
There's your line right there. This is Wise County, Virginia, Scott County, Virginia. Here is your possible tornado. Again, nothing is confirmed, but we can actually, Evan, can we take a look at the correlation coefficient just to see? I don't think we'll see anything, but just to kind of check on it here real quick. And again, nothing is there. If something was down, well, I can't say that because it just might not be lofting it high enough. But if something was there, in theory, you would see a blue or a white dot there. So that's good news that we're not looking at that. We're looking at just red color. So that kind of indicates rain falling, maybe some small hail in some places. But overall, we are not looking at a confirmed tornado at the moment. But again, take it seriously because we could possibly see that spin up or spin down in just a matter of minutes. So just take that seriously. If you live over northern Scott County, far southern Wise County, near the border of those two counties, just stay sheltered for the next few minutes. This tornado warning does go until 10:15 this evening. So again, that will continue pushing off towards the east around 35 miles per hour. That severe thunderstorm warning also continues until 10:15, correct?
Yes,
okay.
I believe so. Let me double check. There's so many warnings.
Yeah.
I have to, let's see here. That was for, yes, until 10:15.
Okay, for the possibility of strong straight line winds, maybe some small hail. But again, this storm is on the way out, so we'll continue to watch out for that for the next few minutes. That's good news for us. If you live in Lee County, all clear from this system. It's now solely in Scott County and far southern Wise County. That's good news there, though, as it continues pushing off towards the east. All of these areas are not in our coverage area, but if you know anybody that may live in any of these communities, give them a heads up and give them a call. And Clinch around 1012, over towards Bush Mill 1018, over towards Nicholsville 1020, Carfax 1025, Collinwood 1029, over towards St. Paul at 1032. If this cell holds together, it will be in those areas and around those times. Again, these are approximate times. Don't take these to the bank. These could change as the storm speeds up or slows down, so don't take those times to the bank. But again, we are here because of a tornado warning for portions of now Wise County. Lee County, that far eastern edge is still in the warning, but overall you're all clear from this storm as it's now solely into Scott County. You see here a little bit of a hook there near the Scott and Lee or Wise County line there, so nothing too strong, but it's still there. So just kind of take it seriously as we could possibly see a possible tornado just to the north of Verdi, just to the south of Cracker Neck, near the area of Lee County, Scott County line, and that will continue pushing off to the east, northeast around 35 miles per hour. Evan?
So it looks like about 40 minutes ago, west of Pennington Gap, they had some tree damage.
Okay.
That is being reported through the amateur radio network out into portions of that was in Lee County, but the circulation with this thunderstorm has pushed into portions now of Scott County. And Scott County, Virginia is not in our coverage area. That's our folks down in Bristol and Kingsport and the Tri-Cities area down that way. But where we cover Lee County, or Lee and Wise counties in Virginia. In fact, those 4 Southwest Virginia counties while we're still on at this hour. But I would say as this circulation continues to push into portions of Scott County, Virginia, we may start to kind of ease on out of this over the next little bit there, Cameron.
Yeah, so just a heads up to Josh as you're directing. 4 more minutes. We'll give this till 10 o'clock and we'll kind of go back to regular programming on CBS. But until then, we'll kind of hold it here and kind of track this sail off to the north and east for the next few minutes. This is out of Lee County. It's only over the far southern edge of Wise County. If you live near the Wise and Scott County line, just to the south and east of Irondale, This is really on top of you right now, pushing off towards the east around 35 miles per hour. If you know anybody that may be in northern Scott County near Llano or Llano or over towards Verde or Verdi, be sure that you give them a call and a heads up that this is some rotating thunderstorm here over portions of northern Scott County. We could possibly see a quick spin up tornado. But again, in the next few minutes or so, we will kind of toss back to CBS as this is going to move out of our coverage area and kind of move into another coverage area. Evan?
That's right. So just to reset here over the next few minutes, I know some folks maybe want to watch the Tony Awards tonight here on CBS. We're sorry we've had to cover it up, but you know, life and property, the protection of life and property comes first in these situations, and especially once you get into the warmer months, we're dealing with strong to severe thunderstorms. So we'll give this just a little while longer, and we will send you back to the Tony Awards. But we're watching the tornado-warned storm that's mostly south of Norton. Norton likely seeing some heavy rain and some gusty winds as that continues to push between Norton and really the northern parts there of Scott County in Virginia. And we'll continue to see the heaviest of the thunderstorms basically from Manchester all the way down toward places like Big Barren and further to the south as we continue to watch that work on through. So Middlesboro up to Pineville. The threat for 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail to the size of, it's non-severe hail, so really smaller than nickel size, but the damaging wind is going to be the main threat with that. And that'll continue to push off to the east. That severe thunderstorm warning continues for another few minutes, and yes, actually continues for about another 17 minutes as that continues to push to the east. That'll be moving toward downtown Hyden over the next few minutes, over toward Harlan over the next few minutes. Of course, Harlan, we just got done with that storm that continues to work through Wise County. But with that continuing to push off to the east, at, let me double check the speed. They just updated this warning at 45 miles per hour. So we'll continue to see this push off to the east. We'll put the track on it here at 45 miles per hour. So it's actually slowed down a little bit over the last little bit. I'm going to put this on 1 second here. Going to adjust my speed. And for the next hour, we'll track this out right on top of Middlesboro and Pineville now. So tracking it out for the next hour or so. Harrogate, Tennessee, over the next few minutes, just across the mountain from Middlesboro there. New Tazewell, Tennessee, at about 10:07. Alva, that's over in Harlan County, by about 10:16. Moselle by 10:16. Harlan itself, downtown Harlan, by 10:25. Viper, that's over in parts of Perry County, south and east of Hazard, by about 10:33. So moving back into Hazard, we've had some storms here at the station. Mooresburg by 10:38, and Cos Ford by 10:45. Eventually over toward Cumberland by about 10:46 if this holds together. So looking at this particular storm as it continues, obviously looking at the line of storms and watching this storm as it continues to push through portions of Wise County and into Scott County in portions of southwest Virginia. I'm starting to see that storm really start to lose a little bit of definition there over the last little bit. So looking at the velocity, I'd say we're going to continue to watch this over northern parts of Scott County over the next little bit. But as the main threat shifts out of the area, we're going to send it on back to programming. So for Chief Forecaster Brandon Robinson and Meteorologist Cameron Aaron, I'm Meteorologist Evan Hatter. Have a great evening. Latest update coming up in about an hour on Mountain News Weekend Edition or earlier if need be.